Welcome to the Squad Games Podcast. Squad Games Podcast.
Do you guys think it'd be more awkward to play against someone who's completely naked, or if you were completely naked?
Save that for the podcast, Giacomo. That's gold.
I mean,
we're recording right now.
I mean, we're recording. We have been for the past 5 minutes, Jimmy.
Well, this isn't going to make it, though, right? Like,
I mean, this is 100% making it now.
okay, this is going to make. All right,
This is making it.
Oh no.
So it depends. It depends, G. Which one of them is eating Jack in the Box?
Why are they eating Jack in the Box?
Daniel,
Why are you?
I mean, why are they naked?
Sandwiches. Why are we going to Jack in the Box?
We're in Vegas. You can have anything.
I think if someone's naked playing Kill Team, it's only fair if the other person gets naked too.
I will be naked, rubbing a Popeye's chicken sandwich all over my flabby body.
I'd rather play against that because I feel like I'm going to win that one. That's going to go with some emergency breaks.
The trouble is, I'm going to make you join me. Like, it's going to start off by like, Jimmy's being weird. And before it's over, it's like, why am I also naked rubbing a Popeye's chicken sandwich on my body?
How did this happen?
Yeah.
What?
We don't know. It'll be like a skip scene. Like, I don't know. I started with clothes on playing Kill Team, and I ended rubbing chicken sandwich on my naked body. I don't know what happened.
I think with this leading question, Giacomo has obvious things that he wants to do in Vegas.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about.
Right. Giacomo, who do you want naked? Let's hear
Myself.
that. Okay, you want to be naked.
Oh my God, it's the best feeling ever. Just walking around the house.
All right.
With your parents on? What?
No.
Well, what about at Rio? It's a little different.
The fuck does that?
And those seats are clean.
That's some weird shit right there. Close your porn tabs.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. My bad.
Is this the segue to announce the TO's uniform for 2024?
Yeah, it's a birthday suit.
Yeah, it's just naked with a chicken sandwich. You just walk around rubbing yourself, and like that's the guy who's going to answer my rules question.
Strategically plays Popeye's chicken sandwiches.
Yeah,
for
exactly. Oh gosh.
I thought you were about to do a strategic advantage shout out there.
Oh dear.
I know, right? All right.
Gas money is not allowed.
Yeah.
This is just another Kill Team podcast. Wink.
Get out of here.
We're just going to casually yell out all the Kill Team podcasts, right?
The Kill Team casual, if you will. I'm trying to think of more.
Should we do a roll call? Just point.
Yeah, command. Yeah, I mean,
I spend a command point for that.
Yeah, you could definitely spend a command point for that. And then what's the narrative one? Escapes me my mind.
I don't know, but I'll see you on
Just
the Kill
upon the Kill
Zone.
Oh goodness, the Kill Zone. That's dead, Giacomo.
That's ancient.
Been dead.
I was looking for that one.
That one's been dead for 365 days.
But here's the best part: they've been dead for so long, we can make fun of them. They won't even know. I don't think they listen.
Wow. Yeah.
So we could totally do that. Let's not do it though, because I don't like backlash.
All right, that's fair.
And don't forget, this is the Squad Games podcast. I think we've named them all. Well, I think so. I think we've named them all now.
I think we forgot the Redacted Squad Games podcast, which is our Patreon only one,
which you can catch.
Yeah, we record twice a month for that one. You get some behind the scenes Squad Game stuff and stuff that we won't talk about here. And I mean, we're talking about naked playing Kill Team with
chicken sandwiches.
I mean, imagine what we discuss on that one. My goodness.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's even more naked somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, it's more like X-rated, not just our NC-17.
So today on the Squad Games podcast, we are going to be, this is the week of LVO, and we will be talking about, LVO starts in 3 days from when this is released. And today we're going to be doing a tier list prediction video along with talking about stats, the Kill Team narrative for LVO, our predictions, our hopes, our dreams, maybe things that they're going to reveal. You know, it's going to be a fun time here talking about stuff today. So looking forward to it. Yeah. So Jimmy, we have Jimmy Kelly.
Why, hello.
We have Rob McLeod.
Hey.
And we have Giacomo and myself as always.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have a lot of fun stuff to do today. So everyone knows you can't see our tier list that we're about to post to each other, but we're going to look at them and we're going to roast each other for a minute. If you want to see them yourself, you can go to our Discord, which we will post the side by sides, and then we'll collectively make a tier list here, and we'll rank it. Jimmy, do you want to tell us how we're going to rank it?
Sure. Would not mind if I do. So we're going to have 5 categories and a secret spicy 6 option later that we're not going to address until we get to it. The 5 we're going to go to are going to be split into 2 categories. The first 2, probable to win and top 10. Now with this, what we're looking for is the best someone can run that faction. So can someone take, let's just say, Legionary to win the tournament? So if we think that someone with Legionary is probable to win the tournament, then we're going to put them in. That's our S tier. That's probable to win. If we think someone with Legionary can make top 10, then we'll put them in top 10. But there are so many people going. This is such a big tournament. I don't know if you know this. It's the biggest that's ever happened. So it's going to be the biggest tournament ever. There's a ton of teams, a ton of players. We don't want to go with the best a team can do for the others because it doesn't make sense. Everyone else, there's probably someone in every faction that's going to go positive. So after top 10, we are going to go and view the teams collectively as a whole. If there's 5 people running a tournament, 5 people each running 9 games, that's 45 games. If we think that team is going to win more than half of those games collectively, we'll put them in go positive. If we think they're going to struggle, not make 50%, we're going to put them in a struggle bus. And then there's the just for fun, or as I call it, the Justinian for fun. That is the team that they're shown to have fun. They're going for best sportsman. They're going to make friends, and they may forget their models. They may show up and be like, I don't even think I wore pants. And they're there just to have fun, great time.
Hanging out with Giacomo.
Absolutely. Will they win a game? No one knows. They won't even know. Like, you'll ask them, like, how'd you do? They'll be like, I don't even know what a score is. They're there, right there for Justinian for fun. But yeah, so the top 2 is all about the very best a person can run a team. There are, I don't know if you want to start getting into the numbers of teams, but a lot of people have taken some teams. If one of them is capable of going all the way to number 1 and everyone else with that faction goes below average, we don't care. We want to know the best someone can run it. After the top 2, it is all about collective. All right.
I totally understood that time, Jimmy.
Yay! Hey, there we go. Good.
Yeah. That, I so everyone knows I was struggling understanding our tier list mechanics ourselves. But now we're gonna post here our tier lists.
Send. Mine's processing. It's been delivered.
All right. No one laugh.
We'll laugh ourselves. All right, let me put mine up.
Uh-oh.
Giacomo, why'd you put Justinian? Justinian's not even going to be there.
Because I can. I put all the models somewhere.
Okay.
Not even happy to be there.
Okay.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Okay, this is Rob's. I'm going to look at Rob's now.
I'm going to look at Dakotah's. Oh,
Rob with the spicy picks.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised by some of you.
And then let's see Jimmy's. All right, Jimmy.
Mine's totally normal. Nothing surprising here at all.
Oh, I put in something I wasn't supposed to share yet.
It's okay. It's okay, Rob. Okay, so we're looking at everyone's so everyone can listen. I know it's just dead space right now.
Yeah.
But we are gathering our oppositions. We are gathering information to battle each other with.
Right. Well, everyone's doing that. Just to let you know, the best thing for all audio content is just dead space. Just
yes, absolutely.
Air. Like, it's like the void of outer space. That's what you want for a podcast. Just nothing. And it works.
So it looks like a lot of us have a couple of the same picks, and a lot of us have a lot of different stuff. So I'm pretty interested to see where we're going to go from here. That's interesting. All right. So we are let's talk a little bit
Rob, you and I are going to fight. I just saw yours. What is going on here?
Listen, I've got a method. It's
We're gonna
madness.
fight, Rob.
It's method.
No.
So
I think
everyone, so everyone knows I chose a lot of West Coasters to pick this to talk about this episode, because typically East Coasters win West Coast events and West Coasters win East Coast events. It's what I've seen this past year. Jimmy Kelly won KTO, right? And then we had Orion win LVO this year. Those are kind of
only two things we care about.
And then I think Adrian Bonavento won the rest on the East Coast.
In the U.S., just everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere else.
He just won all of them. Yeah,
yeah. He pretty much smashed everyone else. It's funny. I think he was playing Corsairs at KTO. Maybe if he would have played Orcs, he would have won. Who knows?
He didn't play Corsairs, did he? No, he did.
He did.
Oh man, he was so nice to let me win. Then, goodness. If he had taken a good team, who knows?
So we're going to go over a little bit of stats right now, so everyone knows. There's a lot of very interesting choices that everyone has chose so far. So far, out of from the time of recording, we had 156 signups, and 138 people have submitted their lists. We are waiting on the final few, whether some of those be drops or some of those just be missing entirely. We'll have to see. But first and foremost, we're going to go over the most taken faction, which is Orc Commandos at 12. I think there's one person that's taking them that has not uploaded their list. So if you look at it right now, it says 11, but there is 12 Commandos. Mm-hmm. Which is the most taken faction right now, which I think we're sitting at like, yeah.
I got bad news for you. Glass Half Dead said they're dead. So I don't know what's going on. No one got the memo.
Well, don't you remember Glass Half Dead also says he's not a competitive channel, right? So.
Oh, yeah.
We got to put an asterisk there.
Well, I mean.
They may not be dead yet. I don't know.
Sometimes he is a competitive channel. He puts out some competitive stuff. And sometimes, he says he's not. So. Commandos are still S tier. Yeah. I can tell you that I am a competitive player, and I TO a lot of events. Commandos are not dead.
In fact,
yeah. In fact, they still fuck.
Every one of us put them at S tier or probable.
Yes, we sure did. And that's the one team that we all agree on for sure. The next two teams, which are a surprise, but also another surprising statistic about them. So Legionary and Intercession are both tied at 11, which is quite interesting considering everyone out there is saying that mech teams are dead, right? We would think that we would see less of them because, we have... because this is probably one of the most competitive events in the world, right? And what's interesting though is KTO, we had 35% were Legionary and Intercession. At LVO now, they've actually fallen in so much popularity. They're only at 16%, so they've lost half of their player base, according to year-on-year end. So everyone's saying that they are, dead in the water, or that they're not necessarily super competitive because Kasserkin and all them these teams exist, are more or less true. Like they have seen a 50% loss in player status and player rates. I hope that Games Workshop also looks at the our stats when we release them, because before we move on to the fourth place tied team. Tied teams, I think it's going to be interesting to say the two bespoke teams that have 0 players entirely. Now, I remember Elliot, the game's rules designer, was like, hey, we are looking at all the teams that did not get to Worlds, and we're going to give them a buff. Well, they forgot to give Warp Coven a buff, and they forgot to give Warp Coven a buff so much that Warp Coven is not being taken to LVO. 156 players, 138 rosters submitted, and not a single one has faith in Warp Coven. In fact, they believe in Intercession more than they do Warp Coven when Caster can exist. Yeah, it's a rough time. Rough time to be a Warp Coven player. What do
Intercession
you guys
can
think?
shoot on death, you know?
Yeah.
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 Warp Coven do spells that do nothing on death. It's just not the same. However, real quick thing to point out, there are actually more Eldar players than Elite. The Intercession and Legionary combined don't even equal Eldar for this tournament.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
So the other team that's not being shown is Justinian. Justinian Timberlake is not showing his face to this event. Maybe he has a date with Taylor Swift, but yeah.
I mean,
perhaps they need a buff.
I could see that. Like, I think if you're going to pick one, take Intercession.
You would know, G. You've taken him
Yeah.
to a couple tournaments.
Yeah, I think Intercession just has a slight edge. It's the speed. Your gunner's going to get stuck in the back. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think Games Workshop made Justinian to be competitive, or was it
I
just
don't
a
think
fun
so.
way to, like, if you want to buy the hero boxes, you have an option for them?
I think it's the latter.
I think
I think it was a throwaway. I don't think they care. Like, if they find out no one ever plays them at any of the top competitive tournaments, I don't think they're going to care. Warp Coven, I think they'll care more about. I don't think Justinian was a serious thought. I think it was for fun.
I would
Just
agree.
like it should be Justinian for fun. Just saying.
So
Yeah, there you go.
So Jimmy, you're telling me that they didn't release a competitive team for Kill Team
I don't think they released it for the
in
purpose
8 months?
of. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So
I think they
because
woke up
remember-
one day and someone told them, like, "Hey, do you know that Kill Team exists?" And they're like, "Kill what now?" That's what I think happened.
because remember, cults and Inquisition were narrative. Remember, they just had competitive rules.
Yeah.
So
I
the last
remember.
competitive team to be actually released, until this weekend, was who the fuck was it?
Colts and Inquisition.
No, it was Felgor. It was Felgor and Hearthkin, right? That was
Did they
the
come out
actual
after?
last box set.
No, they
yeah,
came
but
out
the
before.
Gallifall set.
Yeah, Gallifall.
Okay, but we're not counting Colts. Good.
Yeah, because they were a narrative
I have
box.
Colts PTSD, so I don't want to talk about them ever again.
Maybe they just don't really exist and it's just a nightmare.
Oh God, Rob, hold me, please. Someone needs to comfort me with Colts. If they really were fake, that would be just the best delusion ever. If someone just told me, like, they didn't really exist. There were no Colts. There's no mutations. It's okay. All right,
So-
continue. Sorry, ignore me.
No, you're good. So the next interesting point of data is that we have 3 teams tied for 4th. We have Novitiates at 8 players, Kasserkin, or Kasser Kings, as I like to call them, at 8 players, and then we also have Void Dancers at 8 players. Literally players, get it?
Very clever.
Oh God.
Boo.
Walked myself into that. I walked myself into that. I didn't even try, okay? It just happened.
Yeah.
You could have said like,
So
Nah.
melodramatic.
"Yay!" There you
Hey.
go. Damn, that was accurate. Good job.
Yeah. So the thing that's most interesting to me is how many Void Dancer players we have. On the West Coast, we have 0.
No, there's one at Pasadena.
Oh yeah,
Or
yeah.
AVTT,
We have one. We have one Pasadena. We have one Pasadena player. One Void
I haven't
Dancer
met him.
player. Yeah, it's Charlotte.
Oh, it's Charlotte. Yeah, she was at AVTT, right?
Yeah.
She won the Leviathan box.
Yeah, but she's not. The reason why you guys confused me is because she's
not
not
at
playing. No. She's going to LVO. She's just not playing Void Dancers. She's playing Blades.
Oh,
Ah,
well, there we
You
go.
guys
Okay,
confused.
Eldar
You
Heart.
guys confused the shit out of me.
I apologize on behalf of all of us for confusing you, Dakotah.
I
No
do not
problem.
apologize.
Yeah, I just
Stand strong.
talked to Charlotte and she was like saying, should I bring Void Dancers or Blades? And I was like, do whatever fits your heart. And she was like,
The blades fit my heart.
Blades.
Oh, that's too
Shout out to Charlotte. She runs a really fun tournament over here in Pasadena. So if anyone is around, I think one happens this past weekend, which you'll have to wait till the next month to go to. So we're recording this before that airs, but before that tournament, but yeah. So the next interesting tidbit of information we have is that we have a huge increase in Corsairs and Hand of the Archon. Now, Rob, you're a huge Corsairs player. In fact, you played Corsairs last year.
Yep.
What do you think about the increased amount of players?
So I think Hand has been like strong this year, and Corsairs, which were like solid middle of the win rates since they've been released, finally got a buff. I think people are just trying to play that one out because they have really so little dice manipulation. So now they've got that, which gives them an edge. And I was really thinking about taking them, but I just love me some scouts. So
that's fair.
Cool.
I still
Ooh,
think
Rob,
they
are you
suck,
taking scouts?
so.
I am taking scouts.
Ooh, they're nice. Okay, I didn't know that. I had no idea who you were taking. That's cool. Now I know.
So Hand of the Archon is also a very good team. So I think the Eldar players are in a really good spot right now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of players playing them. I mean, if Corsairs go deep into the tournament, I think my opinion of them will change. But I think I've only seen you do well with them, Rob, and only one player doing well with them is not good enough for me to put them.
Yeah, in a tournament, you're going to have a game with bad dice, and they can't recover from that. There's two glass cannons.
Do you think Hand of the Archon have a better chance?
Yeah, I kind of think so. I mean, I don't know how the new buffs are going to play out, but you just get so many crits, and you can make people hate you with Hand of the Archon. So that helps. People want to walk away from the table after they get.
Speaking of the next team that is on our list, I think it's 7th or 8th most played now. I forget how. Yeah, so no, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the 10th most taken faction is the one that Jimmy Kelly is bringing, and that is going to be Felgor. I don't think they needed a buff.
Me.
Jimmy, did they need a buff?
They need another buff because I want to win.
Shut the fuck up.
Because I don't know.
No. I really don't think they needed a buff. I think people. Here's a big thing. Normally, when a team gets a nerf, everyone runs like cockroaches from light. They just run away immediately. And people did that with Felgor, and they were still good. They're not easy to run well. If you just run them really just kind of like smooth-brained, just like run and punch people in the face, they don't do enough. They die too fast. They're not that great. They are a great team if you synergize them, if you run them well. They're really solid. They're very hard to deal with. And not many people did that. So since people weren't taking them, GW was like, they need more. And I'm all about it. I will never doubt my overlord. They are in charge. They are benevolent and gracious and kind. And they knew that Felgor needed a buff. So who am I, a mere peasant, to doubt GW? I can't. They know what they're doing. So I guess they did need a buff, Dakotah, if you're asking. Just saying.
Jimmy, you don't know the angry face I have on right now.
I think the buff was good. It was a good buff for them.
Shut the fuck up, Giacomo.
Giacomo, you're my best friend. Dakotah's out. You're in. Here we go.
All right. So what's interesting about Felgor is that Jimmy in our last game at Merry Mayhem, if they had this buff, I would have lost.
Mm-hmm.
So
is this information to try to get me to change my mind? I'm wondering, like, is this?
No, I'm just saying that this team, when run well, was absolutely like, in my opinion, A tier, right?
Yeah. So here's what's funny with our game. I lost by a single point, and I had some of the worst dice rolls. I think I lost every initiative. The Mangler whiffed 3 times, could not kill a guardsman with 3 attacks.
Yeah, you can't kill Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah. Okay, calm down. Dolph will die. We know. Anyway, so I had some of the worst rolls. Everything with dice and variables went against me, and I lost by a single point.
Yep.
And all it would have taken to win was this buff. And that's pretty amazing where it's like I could have taken this team. I still had to run them not stupid. So you still have to make good choices. But even like there should be certain teams that if you just don't get the luck, if everything goes against you with dice, you shouldn't be able to win.
Yeah, I think
with this buff, I would have won without all the dice rolls. Like losing every dice roll, I still would have won.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we have any smooth brain teams in the meta right now, but
Intercession.
Felgor,
Won't offend them.
intercession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to
Forward
play
and shoot.
Shoot.
to go deep with intercession, you still can't have a smooth brain, right? Like,
No,
That's
that's
fair,
true.
that's fair.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like Jason won SoCal, very
Mhm.
smart guy. He still had to make very smart. Robert loves intercession, runs them very intelligent. You're right. Anyone deep has to be smart.
yeah.
question.
So like in the past, we had Colts were literally just smooth brain before they got their first nerf, right? And then they had to like start playing right, and now they have to play even better in order to do well. But Felgor are definitely not in that category, but they are still extremely strong. And what worries me about the LVO meta is that how the players currently that are taking Felgor are all pretty damn good, in my opinion. So I think we're going to see him run. I think we're going to see him run deep.
Yeah, we should worry you, Dakotah. I want you to be scared. Very scared.
Well, I'm not playing, so I don't give a fuck. I'm just there to make sure.
We'll start with the players, and then we'll move to the TOs. You be scared.
no.
We're coming for you.
That's true.
Watch
I
out,
mean,
they're gonna move
after I hit them with a hammer, they'll they won't die, and then they'll kill me afterwards.
Yeah, once we're frenzied, we don't know friend from foe. We'll just go for everything. So you watch out.
So the next couple teams that are all tied is there are 4 teams now in the next category. We have inquisitorial agents. Now this is interesting to me because I thought we were going to get more of these teams, and when I saw the final numbers came out, I was baffled that we didn't get more of these teams. So inquisitorial agents, we have 5 players. Vet Guard, we have 5 players. Who else was it? Pathfinders, we also have 5 players. I thought we were going to see more Pathfinders. I thought we were going to see more Vet Guard, and I thought we were going to see more Inquisition. Because in my opinion, they're all very, very strong picks. Though they're all probably some of the hardest teams to run well.
Inquisition is not just the hardest to run. I spend way too much money on Kill Team. Like it makes my accountant angry how much money I spend on Kill Team. And I don't have enough to run Inquisition.
Really?
You need a lot of I could, but like
Jimmy,
Dakotah
if you just collected all the teams, then you'd be fine.
I collect most of the teams, but I only have 1 box of Inquisition.
If
That's
you
not
continue
enough
to please your overlord, Games Workshop, they will give Felgor another buff. So just buy more.
That's what I'm going for. I'm going for that. It's cheaper than having to buy 5 more boxes. So I'm just going to I send them emails every day. You look pretty today. Like I'm like trying to say hey, maybe more Felgor buffs. We'll see if it works. I'm just saying maybe it will. Inquisition is a hard team to collect. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of time for the hobby. Like it's a lot. 30 models on the roster, and it's tough. And like just right before the tournament, they buffed Casterkin. So now you probably no one had Casterkin on the roster for
which were also a really hard team to get a hold of for a while.
Right, they were hard.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, if you want to play them competitively, do you take Casterkin if you want to ignore Obscuring? Now it's a whole other box. All these models to build and paint. It's not one model; it's a whole mini roster. Inquisition is the closest we have to a 40K team. And each one of these teams, if you have them, it's a whole roster. It's not just 5 ancillary support or 6 ancillary. It's a whole thing you have to build and paint. It's a lot.
It's going to be the next direction for Kill Team, my guy. They just want you to buy more and more teams.
It just doesn't surprise me right now because so many people, they're in it because they can buy, if you want to play Felgor, buy 1 box, build the models, you're fine. Pathfinders, 1 box, build it. Don't do it. Do not do it, but you could. You could buy 1 box of Pathfinders, be hated by everyone. You could do that. But there's so many teams, 1 or 2 boxes, all you need. Inquisition, you need 2 boxes just of inquisitorial agents.
That's right.
It? Am I saying it right?
Yeah. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Just of the agents. And then all the ancillary support. And many games to get good.
You have to practice with so many different variables. It's not just which one operative, which entire set of 5 or 7.
So much time, so much money. So it does not surprise me. It's a gatekeeper from time and money and investment. There's easier teams. The people that really want to take the team that could be the best It takes a lot to do it. So
Or
it
even
does not
3
surprise me it's limited. It's not number one. Commandos, one box, easy to take, and they're strong.
But now Vet Guard, you just need 2 boxes and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've been around forever. They're boring. Everyone, it's snooze.
There were more. All right, so check this out, everyone. Here's an interesting stat for you before we move on. We have more people in each one of our LVO pods. So how everyone knows, there's a pod A, a pod B, and a pod C. Pod A and pod B are playing Into the Dark and Open, and they're crossing over. Pod C is the narrative, and they do their own thing, and they all drop day 3. So pod A and pod B, right? They swap over. But here's the crazy thing. Nova was a giant event. Jimmy, you were there, right? It was fucking huge, right?
Mm-hmm. It was pretty big.
Yeah. We have more people in each one of our LVO pods before they merge on day 3. More people in each pod than all of Nova in its entirety.
Huge.
That's pretty
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, it's huge. Like it's baffling, right? And at there, we had 8 Vet Guard players in half of the space. It's interesting that Vet Guard have fallen off so hard, and I'm wondering if it's because Kasserkin got a buff and a bunch of Vet Guard players moved to Kasserkin or
Could be.
Inquisition, right?
Maybe you're right. Maybe some of the players who did the other ones, like let's say Vet Guard, decided, well, I can do Inquisition and I have my Vet Guard for them, and I have Kasserkins. So that's probably true.
Yeah, another team that is surprising me with the low number of players is Breachers. I think Breachers are really good. Jimmy, why do you say that, Jimmy?
I think Breachers are in a really bad spot in the current meta.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I think they're really struggling. They cannot deal with the melee hordes. They can't do it. They've got 2 models that can kind of do melee. The rest of their models, 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, damage 3/4. Not great. 8 wounds if they take stims. They're not good melee models. They're close range, but they're all about shotguns. So they cannot deal with cults. They cannot deal with commandos. They cannot deal with Felgor. Or Gellerbox. They struggle hard. There's a chance they can beat Gellerpox and some of these teams on like loot. On capture, it is super hard. They struggle tremendously. Then they also, on some of the other teams, if we look broader, Kasserkin, and they can deal with Kasserkin well. Hearthkin, that's what I meant. Hearthkin, they are hard counter. Scouts are going to be a hard counter. Exaction Squad going to be a hard counter. There's a bunch of teams that are teams that have like 4/4 damage, teams that are better at short range, melee, are just going to deal with them really, really well. My run at Worlds, I didn't get good dice, but also like I just really saw like there was just so many teams they just could not deal with. They deal really well with the teams in general. They can deal with Eldar teams. They can deal with some shooty horde teams, okay. But there's so many teams that are really prominent right now they cannot deal with. And if those teams are prominent, they can't make it deep in a tournament. They just can't do it.
A good analysis.
Yeah, so there's a couple more. There's another interesting statistic I want to talk about, and that is Scouts and Blades of Cain.
Mm-hmm.
So you decided, Rob, to bring Scouts.
Yeah.
Right? It's interesting. Why did you choose that?
So we're almost done with the narrative campaign here in Southern California, and I took out my old metal scouts from like 1998 and just ran them as compendium scouts. And there's a couple times where I just 4 shots on 2s, 4/4 damage with a shotgun to like an anointed. It was just fun. And so then once I saw the new rules, I was like, those are actually pretty fun. But honestly, it's just to try them out. Like I haven't actually played with the new scouts yet, and I'll get 9 games in for sure.
Hell yeah. Let's go. All right.
Yeah, and I just love the models, the old scouts, and so I just want to try them out. I don't think they're going to be great as like in a tournament. I think I'm going to have some probably good matchups and a lot of bad ones, but I don't know. I just want to try something new, and I've always loved them. So
here's a special thing. Let's say a commando player wants to forward deploy. I'm pretty sure in the rules it doesn't say anywhere that you can't booby trap them and put the trigger warning underneath them right away. Am I wrong, G?
I don't think so.
as long as it's 6 inches away from the deployment zone, you're good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I feel that, scouts, I've been hearing some interesting things about scouts, that scouts are, with how good they are, at least they're A tier, like in the typical meta setting. They have some play into some of the higher end teams. And I think that's, they're a very interesting team to say the least. I would not be surprised if you ran deep with them, if you got a couple practice games in, Rob.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of, that's the fun thing is you've got your front loading your cognitive load with your scouting options.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, there's just, some pretty powerful tactical plays and strategic plays. But like, for the most part, like nobody has special rules on their data cards. Like you don't need to remember all the specifics. I'm used to playing Archon or Corsairs where everyone's a specialist with all these special stuff. But other than just a couple, like 3 models have special rules, everyone else is just like, they have a shotgun or a heavy bolter or, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to like front loading my thoughts and then seeing how it plays out and then trying again.
So the next team is Blades of Cain. I haven't gotten any games with them, unfortunately. I still hold the fact that I think they are going to be really difficult to pilot. And I don't know how good they're going to be. But there are 3 of those players. So everyone who's listening, we have 2 scouts and 3 Blades of Cain. So 5 of our 138 players are taking the brand new teams. Very interesting.
Rob is a very good experienced player. Do we know offhand, without having to look it up, who are the Blades of Cain players?
Charlotte.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You mentioned that.
Yeah, we have Charlotte, Joe Bell, and Robert Padan. So Robert Padan is a player who came to... he's been to a couple tournaments now. He went to Hammer of Wrath and played Into the Dark tournament with us. Mm-hmm. Then he went to Merry Mayhem, and he's from Reno, California. Then there's Joe Bell. I'm not really sure who Joe Bell is, but I'm sure I'm going to meet him.
All right.
So
my hot take, I think in this tournament, in this meta, scouts are going to do pretty good.
Agreed.
I think they have really good tools. I think Blades of Cain are going to struggle very hard.
I think they're
very good, but I think they struggle in this meta.
I think they're going to struggle not necessarily just because of the team, but because if you're going from Corsairs or Archon, you're going down a model but up APL. And it's just going to be it's a big switch. You're not going to be looking at your team the same. But I think Charlotte, who's going from Void Dancers to Blades of Cain, is going to have maybe an easier time because it's just 8 models, 3 APL it's going to be weird to.
And they're just as complicated as Void Dancers.
Yeah.
So more so for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So she'll probably have a great hold on them. So, everyone else knows most other teams have 3 players, if not 2 on a couple of occasions. And then there's a couple with 1, and I'll name those off quickly. We have a Space Marine player with 1, a Death Guard player with 1, High Fleet with 1, and Greenskins with 1.
All compendium.
Except there's one compendium team that has 3, which is Talons of the Emperor. So outside of that, there's no real interesting numbers there. So I'll leave it there and we'll move on to a little bit more percentage-wise of Shooty Horde, Melee Horde, Elite, and Balanced teams. So out of everyone coming, 29% of the players that are coming are Shooty Horde players. So that's like Star Striders, Novitiates, Breachers, Inquisitorial Agents, Casterkin, Vet Guard, Wormblade, Hearthkin Salvagers, and Pathfinders. And the way that I sorted these was if every single model wants to shoot, then they can have like 10 models. If the majority of if they have more than 10 models and they all like to shoot, then they're also a Shooty Horde, right? Melee Horde is similar. If they all just want to fight, the same thing. Elites are 6 models or less, and then you have balanced teams which are in between. Some fight, some don't. But melee hordes, we have Blooded, Colts, Gellerpox, Felgor, High Fleet, and Greenskins, and they make up 10% of the meta. Elites, we have Intercession, Phobos, Justinian, Talons of the Emperor, Space Marines, Legionary, and Death Guard, making up 21% of the meta. And then we have the balance team, so Hunter Clade, Hierotech, Orc Commandos, Blades of Cain, Corsairs, Hand of the Archon, Void Dancers, Farstalker, Kinband, and Scouts, with 34% of the team of everything. So they have the highest amount of, as they probably should. They're less of a skew list, but yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. It's a little bit different when we look at the top 10. The top 10 players that are coming, we have Adrian Bonavento, ranked number 2 in the world. We have Ryan Slater, ranked number 5. John Reese, ranked number 9. Jimmy Kelly, you're ranked number 12. Mike Cortez, 36. Nick Craven, 39th. Austin Lewis, 41. Orion Wolfong, 62. Kellen Foster at 66, and James Robinson at 85. And what's most interesting about this entire makeup is that 60% of them are running melee hordes, almost as if the summer of melee hasn't ended.
Well, technically, it's winter now, so
I know, but we're still in the melee of summer until
still Southern California. It's not really
So what do you guys think that, 60% of their top 10% is running kind of like a melee horde? Now, I'm not going to lie. I kind of put commandos from balanced into melee horde. Maybe I should take that out.
I think commandos are a melee horde. They're
think so?
a melee team. They have
11 models.
shooty options. They are a melee team, period.
Okay. Well, let me switch some things up.
melee team for sure.
Okay. So if we change that, that means 19% is melee horde and 25% is balanced. So now it's a lot more evenly balanced with Shooty Horde taking up 29% of the meta. So that still leaves us with the top 10% taking 60% melee horde. I find that very interesting that the top players in the world think that 60% of them think that a melee horde is going to win the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
realistically, like, you don't get armor saves in close combat, and that's where the most damage can and does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so if you strategize it right, you can roll the dice, you get your numbers right, you can look and go, there's actually no way for you to kill me. You might do some damage, but I'm going to kill your model.
Yeah, so everyone knows we have 2 commandos, we have 2 Felgor, we have a Blooded, and we have a Colts. And that's the 6 top melee hordes in this list. A very decent mix. I think we're obviously missing Gellerpox Infected. Looks like Orion's not going to try to win with them
twice.
again.
Who's the blooded player?
That is Nick Craven.
Oh, he's taking blooded.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He has a lot of time with blooded.
Beware, that dude fucked me up. Fucking
Eh,
love Nick Craven. Shout out, homie.
I love
Blooded is
Nick.
strong.
I'm not worried about his blooded.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Fighting
shit.
words.
That's some fighting words. Hey,
Oh, that's,
he almost took
let's
KTO.
go.
I mean, you took it, but
yeah. He was my last game. He was my last game at KTO.
okay, fair. Did you guys tie?
No, I did not. We did not tie.
You won?
I won. Yeah.
Okay, fair. All right. But you're not bringing commandos this time. I mean, you're not bringing custodes this time.
Well,
Jimmy.
not me, but someone is. That's related.
Someone may be close.
So the next most that we have on the top 10, we have, 3 players bringing shooty hordes. We have Novitiates, Kasserkin, and Starstriders. That's going to be Candy Roller Crit, John Reese, Austin Lewis, and Kellen Foster. They're all bringing shooty hordes, which is, another, in my opinion, top contender for winning the tournament. 3 also very strong teams. Then we have Ryan Slater, Turning Point Tactics bringing Exaction.
Mm-hmm.
So
Brave man.
Brave man.
He's had all the success he needs. He's tired of being a winner. Like the number of times he has to show up and just destroy people. He's like, you know what I want? I want a fun time where people like me. So he's like, Exaction. That's perfect.
Hold them close in combat.
Hey, I think they're okay.
They're a great melee horde counter. So
Yes.
he understands that the meta is melee horde. They're the team that's possible to really deal with them the best.
Yeah, but the problem is that I still think they fail to certain other things in the meta. That's why I still put them as a very, very strong B, but maybe we'll get surprised. Maybe.
Well, there are 22 elite teams out there that are going to give them a hard time.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to give them a real hard time. Another interesting thing is let's talk about teams before we move on. So we have a lot of really big teams this year. So far, the number 1 team in the world attending, the highest rated team, is Cats from the Pacific Northwest, and they're bringing 4 players. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold on to the title with them only bringing 4 players, but it is still possible. They could all score really well, and in fact, most of the players that are coming are very, very good. So they definitely have a high chance. And then we have, I believe it's Plasma Spam at number 7. They're bringing 6 players this year to LVO, which is, I think, the most Plasma Spam has ever flown across the United States to come here.
Ooh.
So shout out to you fellas and ladies. Thanks for coming. And then we have, I believe number 9 is the next one, which is Jimmy Kelly's team, Kill Team, bringing 11 players, the most represented team, flooded with purple.
You know it.
Is Kill Team. How did you convince so many people to join you, Jimmy? Are you guys just like the
Renting a
competitive South or what?
So I find homeless people in California, and I'm like,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Like that guy on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, how desperate are you? Like, will you learn Kill Team? And like right away, right in. So if you play someone in purple, you might have to buy them a sandwich.
Giacomo's going to have extra chicken
There you
sandwiches,
go.
right?
Perfect.
You pay for them to go to the tournaments, right?
Oh yeah. Well, stop it. No. I'm really excited to be able to have as many people as we are. A lot of them are my kids. I have 7 kids. I have a lot of kids. It's so many kids. I number them. I don't even know their names. But 3 of them are going to go with me. So 4, like almost half the team is just me and my kids. And we're lucky that we picked up a few people that we really like to play with. They're going to show up with us. My cousin's going to be there with his daughter, my niece. So they're going to be there. So we got some family. We got some friends. There's just a lot of people who just like to have fun. We're going to wear purple because we like to be obnoxious and loud visually. It's going to be good. So a lot of fun people.
So another really competitive team coming to LVO this year is Bats, Bay Area Tournament Squad. They're bringing 7 players this year. They're ranked number 20th in the world. The good thing about this tournament is that it's so big and there's going to be so many ITC points. I doubt that any of these people are going to end where they are currently, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very fascinating to see where each team ends up in the end. Because I believe, Jimmy, you're only 40 points behind Cats and 30 points behind Plasma Spam, even though you're ranked 9th and they're ranked 4th. It's a lot of teams that you can
very
just
close. We're all
go
very,
through.
very close.
Yeah. And then we have, Maple Leaf Wargaming, Warp Fire Minis, Southern Discomfort, which you are a part of, correct?
Yes.
Rob?
Yeah.
Boo.
That's the other Southern California tournament team, and then we have Cadia Fight Club, Kill Team and Coffee, Gobnobs, Privateer Press, and then we have the Warp Surfers, who actually swept SoCal Open this year. They won Best Sportsman, they won the #1 overall, and they won Best Painted. So
both of those guys who did all those things are both going to be there.
they sure are. And in fact, Aiden, Aiden is not repping the Warp Surfers right now. I think he's repping Privateers Press because that's when all the homies go together. They represent their own team.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because
Aiden just went to a little tournament we had last weekend, and he got Best Sportsman. He is the nicest guy.
He has never lost Best Sportsman. He is
It's
literally
obnoxious.
the most competitive
Best sport.
best sport out there. He is so fucking nice.
Oh, God, it makes me mad. He won and then gave the prize to my son. What a what a piece of shit.
What an asshole. What a piece of
that
shit.
guy. Anyways. No, he is like the nicest person to see and the best artist I've ever seen. Dakotah, I was saying.
He's also colorblind.
Yes.
Is he? Is that the secret? Is it like being Bach and deaf? Like if you want to be the best musician, you can't hear? Like is that the secret?
I heard Helen Keller wrote a couple good songs. That's a lie. I've never heard that in my life.
You wouldn't know. Anyways, but geez. Yeah, no, he's like the nicest guy. So so they were both Warp Surfers. One of them is now Privateer Press. Okay, that's cool.
It's only when the homies go.
Yeah.
Otherwise he reps Warp Surfers.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
All right.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting to see, a lot of the stats come out for LVO, but now we're gonna dive into this this competitive tier list. So let's change the thing real quick, and I'll make this like this. There we go.
Boom.
All right, let's deal with the one we all agree with first. Let's just throw it up.
Yeah. So I believe every single one of us put Commandos in S tier, which in my mind,
they're the team to beat.
Makes them the #1 team to beat because we all agree that they are redonkulous.
Yeah, they got that nerf, which I think only hurts kind of like cheesy players that weren't really playing the game. They're just taking advantage of weird stuff, but the experienced players can still just roll with them.
Yeah, that nerf really just changed their play style. It didn't really lower their power level.
Yeah,
like they are still strong. They can do whatever they need to do. They just have to play differently. They can't do alpha strikes, but that's it. Like, I mean, there's a little bit more, but like they have all the power they used to.
Yeah. Let's also get the cat out of the bag. Mike Cortez and Adrian Bonavento Adrian is probably the #1 to win the entire thing. He's won plenty of tournaments this year. Well, he's ranked #2 in the world.
People don't know Mike Cortez as well, but he's an amazing player. Yeah. He is incredible. So he
consistently podiums almost at every event he goes to.
Yes.
He easily has a chance to win this as well.
100%.
Yeah. Both stellar commando players. And now I'm not saying anyone else who's taking commandos. I know Emmanuel is, and a few other players out there are taking commandos, don't have a chance to win with this team as well. I'm just saying
those are the two that stand out the most to me.
These two people are in the top 10, a top 10 seed of LVO, right? So
if they're not in the top 10, I'm very surprised.
Yeah. If they fail out, I think I'll have to reassess my life choices.
Well, it depends. I mean, it's going to be inches. You're going to miss this thing by millimeters.
So
the winner of LVO could be 8-1, and if you're 7-2, you might be out of the top 10.
Yeah.
So it's very you could miss it by millimeters.
Yeah.
So we all have agreed on one other team. Actually, have we all? We've only agreed on one other team. Fascinating.
Really?
To be in the top 10 to win. No, it is not Inquisition.
Vetguard.
It is Vetguard.
Yeah, it is Vetguard. Oh, yeah.
So interesting thing about Vetguard is that they're good. right? And then also the highest rated player taking them is Chris Baki, who has not attended a lot of events this year, but he was top 10, I think, last year.
Yeah.
Went to Worlds last year, and he just
Won the US
didn't
last,
compete
right?
that much this year. Or he didn't compete much in 2023. He competed a lot in 2022.
He was running a bunch of tournaments this year, wasn't he?
He was.
He was
So-
avoiding the challenge. That's what he was doing.
Mhm.
Let's call it what it is. Some people get scared. Just saying. You can be
Yeah.
scared, Baki. I understand, but I'm coming for you. Just saying.
Yeah.
I think he's
Ran away
rated.
from those pelts.
I think he's 20th seed in LVO. I think he's like
not so
190th currently in the world, which is very,
doesn't
very
matter.
impressive.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He didn't really compete. If he was playing all the tournaments, he'd be much higher.
Agreed. Then we start getting into some spicy details. Now we're going to have to start discussing our choices here.
Yeah, defend yourself, Rob.
So
No defense necessary. I'm right.
okay,
Nice.
so
wrong, sir. Wrong.
I believe 3 of us agreed on Pathfinders
Yep.
in probable to win, and the only person not to put in probable to win, in fact, you put him in top 10, was Jimmy Kelly.
Oh,
Now,
that's because I'm right. Okay, go ahead.
so since they're not unanimous, they don't go there. We got to discuss. We have to talk.
Okay.
Now I know Felgor beats the shit out of this team, right? But there's only 6 Felgor, and there's
Yeah.
only 5 Pathfinders.
There's more than Felgor that can counter Pathies.
That's true.
I think novitiates can give them a lot of grief.
Okay,
I think commandos can be very difficult for them.
interesting. Okay,
Now, here's the thing. We have some of the best players playing Pathfinders. There are 2 specific players who are very, very good bringing Pathfinders. And they just got a buff. They're doing very well.
one of which is the host of Just Another Kill Team podcast, Travis Chang. The other one is Janice. Yes, she took the blue pill.
Ooh.
She took the phrase literally. If you can't beat them, join them. Right,
For the greater good.
for the greater fucking good. Janice.
I'm so
Yeah,
proud
this
of
is
you.
this is America. We don't tolerate communists. I'm just saying. So, no, I don't think, even with their buffs, I don't think they're going to be enough on Into the Dark. When there's a lot of melee teams. It's not just Felgor. Those melee teams, when they close the distance, they handle Pathies. Commandos, I think they can beat them on open or Into the Dark. I think there's enough teams out there. Once again, 1 loss hurts. 2 takes you completely out. There's enough strong melee teams. I just don't see this team making it.
Well,
I think they're great. I think they're in a great spot. Also, the thing is, someone designed this open terrain really well. So this is not like a GW workshop event where they just put like 4 random pieces of terrain and you just walk out into an open killing field where Pathfinders just murder everything. There's a lot
Jimmy,
going
you
on.
would know. You went to Worlds.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Octarius is hot garbage. When you get used to playing really balanced, articulate, well-designed open terrain that has a really good balance of light and heavy and obscuring, and like you can't just hop on advantage and see everything, or have one massive piece of heavy that can conceal an entire melee horde. Anyways, your terrain is really good and balanced. It doesn't just give it to Pathies or give it to melee, but it gives options for well-run teams to have spots to hide and get to. I don't know. I just don't think Pathfinders have enough I just don't see it. And I could be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. I could be wrong. We'll see.
So here's my little deep analysis here.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going too far behind the curtain here, Dakotah, but looking at the pods, we've got 3 Pathfinders in the A pod, and I think there's no Felgor in that pod.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have 2 days without Felgor. Now, they still have to deal with Gellerpox and some other and commandos, but I think they've just got, there could be, a path where they don't have to worry about those real killer melee teams until Sunday. So that gives them a bit of a leg up for some of those players.
Who's in which? Travis is in B. Is Janice in A?
I don't think so.
Janice is in B too, right? So the two best players are with the. That sounds so mean because like Jamie with Bats is running Felgor and he's amazing. He's a great guy and a great player. So I'm not, but I just know like the two best ranked, best well known Pathfinders players are in B, I believe, with Felgor. And then if someone happens to make it to day 3, you know who's going to wait for him on day 3? Felgor. They're waiting. And also in Group A, they have the best Commandos player.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It's tough. They're a great team, and they hit on 4s. So if they spike rolls, they can just kill anything.
So James Miller and Joseph De Vera are both Bats players, and they're both really good. So they definitely have a chance to get out of their group untouched. Because the other thing that we have to all remember about LVO is that only one player is going to get out of Group A undefeated, and there's only going to be one player getting out of Group B undefeated, right? So when we're thinking about our tier list, we also have to think about what team is probably going to get out of Group A undefeated. My guess would probably be Adrian, right? And Group B, that's a toss-up. To me, there's too many.
All right. So this is the best evidence for me for why Pathfinders are not probable. There are no Felgor in Group A, and your gut says Commandos will be 6-0, not Pathfinders.
Correct.
So that, to me, that's what settles it. Now, if they are 5-1 and they couldn't even beat Commandos, then when you combine and the top Felgor players and the other top melee hoarders, the top cult players, all these people combined, there's no way they keep proceeding after that. I just don't see them. Like, I'm being generous when I put them in the top 10. That was me being kind. I don't see it.
I'll switch it to top 10. What do you fellas think? Has Jimmy persuaded you guys?
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see them at the top table at the end, but I could also see, they might flame out. It could be.
Yeah, top 10 seems pretty good.
Okay.
All right. All that I just did was I lit a fire under Travis and Janice's ass. All they have, they're going to watch it, they're going to listen to this and be like, those sons of bitches, I'm going to work every one of them. So I probably just made a lot of enemies. I apologize.
Travis knows the secret tech. So
he's got the secret stuff.
I believe, let's see here.
And Travis is amazing, just FYI. This is not a doubt of Travis at all. I think Travis is an amazing player.
Now it's time for me to defend myself. All three of you guys put Inquisition improbable to win, and I did not.
Because you hate the Caster Kings.
Let's hear it, bud. Why do you think they're not?
So I don't think Inquisition will win because I think Felgor exists.
Ooh, you know what? Also, Commandos deal with them pretty well.
They can also deal with them pretty well. And there's a bunch of good players here sitting here on Inquisition, right? We have Jason, Andrew, and Alex. I don't know Duncan, and I don't know Shayla.
But the ones I do know, like Alexander's, I've played him multiple times. He's one of my favorite opponents. He's great. He knows his stuff really well. He's really solid. Jason beat me at SoCal Open. One of my favorite people. I'm so glad I got to meet at SoCal Open, spend time with him at Worlds. Amazing guy. One of the Warp Surfers. Great. Andrew Wang, I was my first opponent at LVO last year. An amazing guy. They're all three great players. But I think you're right. I think with Felgor and Commandos being strong and both of them dealing well with them, I think it makes it unlikely for them to win, but I think they can get really close.
Yeah, I think they can.
And it wouldn't surprise me if they win. But
in fact, Inquisition is in one of my my last tier. So
ooh.
Really?
I don't give the secrets away, Dakotah.
Yeah. I'm trying not to.
What an idiot.
I know.
You're
so
right out of the bag.
So are you guys all disagreeing with me? Do you guys really think Inquisition can just win out?
I mean, if you throw absolute authority at the right time, you fuck up someone's plan real bad, and then they're like, "Oh, I needed that to do it, and now I don't have it." And if you're a good enough Inquisition player playing either Vet Guard, maybe Casterkin, or if you're playing against melee, you bring the riot shields.
Oh,
then
yeah.
then you're like, okay, I have a way to kind of slow you down and stop you.
Here's a question.
But that's the thing, you got to know all those teams.
Alexander in?
Great
Say
question.
Which group is Alexander in?
Is he an A? I think he's A,
If he
right?
avoids Felgor,
Yeah.
that'd be interesting.
He's not going against Felgor until Sunday.
So he's got 2 whole days to practice against them on the side.
Yeah, he's
All right, Alex,
He's
you got to
a
win
good
it. You got to win it for Pasadena.
He's Group A. Interesting. So he only has to deal with the
all the shooty teams who also, they aren't great. Inquisition is not great into Vet Guard.
No.
Right.
Well, no
They're
one
not,
is,
and they're not
no one
great
is
in the
great
Pathfinders.
Vet Guard. No one is great into Vet Guard.
I
That's
mean,
true.
right.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
one
right.
hard counters Vet Guard. There's a lot of evenly matched or maybe slight advantage. No one hard counters or has a great matchup into Vet Guard.
I think Felgor and Blades of Cain will probably be good into Vet Guard.
but not great.
Not great. Good, yeah.
Maybe an edge.
Felgor are great against Vet Guard on Into the Dark. Maybe not open.
On Into the Dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
into the dark, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we have to keep adding things,
Fair.
if this, then it's not necessarily a hard counter.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
think the closest they have to hard counters Felgor into the dark. Yeah, totally agree.
so Inquisition, where are we placing them, fellas?
I'm good with either one, top or second.
Realistically, just because the number of people playing, probably top 10.
Yeah, there's not
I
the-
put them in top 10.
Yeah.
Here's the
Like,
thing.
even though I personally think they're probable to win.
I'll allow top 10, but Jason and Alexander, I believe in you. This is,
win it for
I believe
SoCal.
you guys can do it. No offense to everyone else. Andrew, I believe in you too. And the people I don't know, also you. But yeah, so let's do top
Win
10.
it for America.
I want everyone to remember, though, this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I thought that a specific person or a specific faction was going to win an event, I've always been wrong. This is the time to prove us all wrong. We're just fucking guessing. None of us are psychic.
Dakotah, tell me I'm going to lose. Let's do it. Tell me right now.
Jimmy, you're going to fucking lose. Okay.
God, yeah, there we go. All
Jimmy,
right.
you fucking suck. Sorry, I was going too far. I went too far. Too far.
Too far.
All right.
My feelings.
He's coming after you. He's going for the TOs.
Yeah. So I think Jimmy and I are the only one that put Felgor in S tier.
Mm-hmm.
So now who's defending who? Like,
I'm biased. You guys discuss. I'm not going to participate in this.
I think I put them with the same, like, possible, but I don't think it's probable. There's too much open. There's enough people that can guarantee crits on shooting that
you can force. Yeah,
you can force. Yeah. Not to say it's not going to happen.
How dare you, Rob?
Fight me.
especially like what a majority of the players are in one pod playing against each other.
Yeah,
so,
you're gonna get some
so
mirror
like
matches.
now you're gonna kill a lot of Felgor players off alone, so less are gonna make it to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so everyone just look at my stream right now and look at the players who are playing Felgor.
Jimmy
I'm not
Kelly,
impressed.
God, who's that guy? He must suck.
Not impressed. Never heard of these guys.
Sounds like a loser.
Okay, so check this out. So we have Garrett Rayner and Sammy from up north. They're both great. They're both good Felgor players, right? And then we have Orion, the winner of last year's LVO. We have Jimmy Kelly, and we have Sam Rosen, who once these guys came out, Sam has not ever stopped playing them. He's played them in every single event, and I think he won first place in SoCal Open on day 2
Nice.
for
That's
the secondary pods.
Mhm.
Who is also a BATS member who regularly practices with Pocket. And then we have John DeLeon, which I'm sorry, my friend, I don't know who you are. If you're listening, I look forward to meeting you.
I hope you're offended, John. I'm offended on behalf of you.
So, but we have Jimmy Kelly, and who's won Kill Team Open, and we have Orion, who won last year's LVO. It's hard for me not to say that one of these two players can win LVO.
I think can is for sure, but this is probable. I think that's where
I honestly think they have I've played against them multiple times. I've been hot on this team for a long time, and they fucking suck to play against. I fucking hate this team more than anything else in this world.
Even cultist pre-buff.
Yeah, I've beaten every single cultist player I've ever played against. G.
That's right.
I have only beaten Felgor twice, and I think that this is a really strong buff that they got, and I just think two great players are going to bring them, and I could be overhyped on them, and that's okay. That's okay for me.
For me, I mean, I guess I got the counter side of Dakotah.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I played against Felgor, especially with Hand of the Archon, it's not that tough.
Who have you played?
Marquise. I think I played someone at or Marquis. Sorry, Jonathan Marquis. I played someone else at Hammer of Wrath, I think, and then a couple people at the AVTT, and then I played a few games just like casually. And part of it is Hand of the Archon lives on crits, so
yeah,
take him
true.
out. But and we do have a lot of crit heavy teams.
Let me
that's just
provide a quick counterpoint without trying to jump into root for Felgor. I think people put too much emphasis on the crits.
Yeah.
To take out a frenzied Felgor is only one small facet. And if you have to use an activation to take out an already frenzied Felgor, it's a small thing. Everyone really focuses on Casterkin, they can guarantee a crit. First of all, if you guarantee a crit, you still have a save. You can still actually possibly save it, even if you guarantee a crit.
Or you can use the gong that just ignores all
or you can
crit
use
damage.
the gong,
That's
have
true.
them 3 inches. If you can synergize them well, if you can space them, if you can make sure that you have good deployment. It basically, the way Custos did well at KTO was you keep them alive turn 1, and if you can keep them alive enough turn 1, you win. If you can get them close and then start the melee with most of your team, you're good. And that's how most good melee teams work. If you're able to protect them turn 1, then they can come back and win.
So, for instance, I'm not going to stroke Jimmy's ego too much, so I'm going to talk about Orion.
Yeah, please don't. Yeah, that's better.
Orion, playing against him and watching him play his games, I never ever see him. Rarely ever. I don't think I've ever seen him mess up deployment. And again, with melee teams, you can't mess up deployment. Otherwise, you just lose. Right? With Felgor, they have so many tools. Yes, you have elites are great into them, but this is the least amount of elites we've ever seen come to a tournament. Right? Because there's no elites, because they're great into the shooty hordes, and they have play into commandos. I just think that they're so good.
How many elite players are in pod A?
5. 6. There's 5 each in B, and there's 6 each in A. So there's a little bit more in A. 1 more of each.
Okay. So in the off chance
also, here's an important thing too. There's much less elites, but also, like Dakotah was referring to earlier, 60% of the top players are doing the melee teams. Most of the really top, sweaty, competitive, aggressive players are not on Intercession or Legionary.
of course.
We don't have Shane running Legionary here. We don't have Adrian last year. I played, and he brought Intercession last year to LVO. Adrian is bringing commandos, not Intercession. If Adrian brought, even if we had fewer elites, but Adrian brought Intercession, that would change it drastically.
Agreed.
So Adrian was an amazing Intercession player. He's one of my only losses last year. It was him and Gellerpox or whatever. He's an incredible Intercession player.
In fact, I saw him beat. I think his only loss. I think he only lost to Austin, who played Pathfinders, and it was very, very close. Adrian, yeah.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
And that's a team, Pathfinders, literally just
Eat
shit on Intercession, right? Obviously, players that take these teams to events, and if you have some hidden tech that we don't know about, right? Like this is literally just a West Coast biased podcast at the moment.
100% the way it should be.
I mean,
West Coast.
we all have been to the East Coast on a couple of occasions, so we know quite a few players over there. But we'll probably be a little biased, and I apologize. Just know that listening from here on out. So where are we putting this team overall so we can stop talking about this? The
Top
goats?
10.
Yeah.
Cancer. You both are cancer. Jimmy, where are you putting them?
You know that answer.
You know that answer. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I just find it fascinating that okay, I'm putting them at the top of 10. Okay.
I can look at that.
I find it fascinating that you guys don't think the winner of KTO, an 87-person tournament, and the winner of another 87-person tournament. In fact, the only two 87-person tournaments to exist in the year doesn't have a possibility
He
for
got
the
so
right
heated.
meta read
No,
in
not
order to win
possibility.
the game. It's
A
insanity. Probable.
Probability.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, if you took out a certain commando player, then sure.
But like
Jimmy
you
doesn't
guys
get a vote. So
mentioned-
Jimmy, them going here is because of you. You didn't vote. So
Yeah, I don't want to vote.
What's wrong?
Jimmy got so mad he walked away. All right. So I think the final team, it looks like I have to defend myself. The final team that is in S tier, that someone placed in S tier, is Colts. And I'm the only one who put them there.
All right.
So now we have to discuss Colts.
Now, yeah, let us know.
All right. So I have said this for quite some time. I think that Colts are by far still one of the strongest S team tiers out there. There's a lot of people that maybe played way too sledgehammery with them, right? We saw what Alexa did, and what was the guy's name from Spain? Jimmy? What's the guy's name from Spain?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you were there.
Yeah, like I was drunk the whole time.
Fair. You
I
saw.
don't know the Spanish player's name.
So-
he was like the only Spanish player I didn't talk to. I don't know. I talked to Ace and the other guys. I call him Pedro. I don't think his name is Pedro. I hope he doesn't listen to this.
Dude out here making enemies.
Yeah. I forget the Spanish player's name. Super nice guy. He didn't win, so no one knows him. He's dead to us now.
He's not coming to LVO.
Okay, so in my opinion, it looks like we have two players playing cultists at this event. We have James Robinson and we have Tyler Singson, which I don't know who Tyler Singson is. And if I've met you before, I apologize, brother. I look forward to meeting you at LVO. James Robinson is playing them, and James is one of the best players over here in Southern California, and he's an amazing Colts player. He recently told me that he thought they were A tier after the nerfs. But I think after 9 games of learning how to play this team and how good he is as a player, he will figure out how this team is no longer a sledgehammer that you can just throw against your enemies. And I think that's why they lost. That's why they lost popularity, is because they're no longer easy to play. Right? Intercession, easy to play. That's why they're popular. You know, Felgor, a lot easier to play now. That's why they're getting more popular. Cultist, I don't think is easy to play anymore. I think that they are a surgical knife, but I think they are a lightsaber surgical knife. Right? I think that they are absolutely top tier. And if you don't think that having 50% of the games on Into the Dark, that both of these players are probably going to go 3-0 when they had a 90% win rate or 90 something percent. No, it was, I think Nick Craven lost one round on Into the Dark, and that's because he mispositioned round 1 at Worlds. But outside of that, they had a 82% win rate at Worlds, 88 or something like that. Absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, no. If we were talking about the world's Colts, I would say probable for sure. But you know what? You want to know why you just lost, Dakotah?
Why?
Because the guy you're quoting said they're A tier. The best guy.
Yeah,
with the
James himself.
Yeah, it says A tier. So,
So he's only played one game with them so far. I have high,
you're not making it better, Dakotah. It's not making
That's-
it better.
but by the time you play him, Jimmy, he might have 4 more games with them.
Assuming he hasn't made mistakes in those previous games or something to somebody else and then loses his chances.
That
No.
is true.
They're
But
very good. I just don't think they're probable to win. I don't think James Robinson is amazing. He's a great guy. I love him. I think he was one of my losses last year. It was him and Adrian were the losses at LVO. Him with Gellerpox. He's a great melee player. He's a great player. Colts are still great. They're dominant on Into the Dark, but they now have multiple teams that can beat them on open. Commandos can now handily beat them. Vetguard comfortably can take care of them on open. There's plenty of teams that can deal with them, so I don't think they can be probable. Now they can stop people's runs, they can upset things, they can be a stymie, they can do all these things. I just think it's going to be. Could they win? Yes. Are they probable to win? No.
What about you, G? Did I persuade you?
Not at all. The man said it himself, man. Like, there's no way. They're top 10 for sure, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Top 10 for sure.
Y'all are giving me cancer. Okay.
I hope so.
So we're moving on to the our next spot, which is going to be filling out the rest of top 10. It's going to be difficult because we have whittled down probable to win to just 2 teams.
Well, it
Yeah.
should
You
be
have-
3, but you guys are dicks. So
We have,
Yeah, you're right.
like,
We should have Pathfinders.
we have a total of 17 players who can now probably win this game, this tournament. All right, fair enough. Okay, all right, fair, fellas. Okay,
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we just put Commandos in probable. I
Right,
don't
that
think
was
that's
the
right.
only thing.
If it was just if it
no,
was only
Vetguard.
that.
Vetguard
It's-
need to be there.
It's an
Yeah, I agree,
Octarius
but, like,
season.
Yeah,
that's why Vetguard come after Commandos.
All right.
I'm just saying the trailer at the end, both of them technically lose because the whole team of Vetguard dies, but they blow up the Orc stronghold. So, like, you know,
but then they just scratch it.
So basically,
Nah,
we just
he
have
gets blown up.
Octarius talks up there. That's it. Just
that's
Octarius.
all right. So the final table's got to be an Octarius set. Gotcha.
All right.
Very true.
Okay, guys, look, I'm willing to bend. If you want, I'll put Pathfinders up there just so we can have more than 2 teams.
Nope, it's already too late.
Yep. Live with your choices.
Live with the choices. We don't know how this is going to turn out. This is why we're all debating. And if Kellen was on here, he's a debate master, right? Master debater.
Yeah, he literally is.
Yeah.
He would do something stupid like put novitiates up there. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of novies, it looks like G did not put him up there. Everyone else put novies in top 10. G, defend yourself.
Melee teams.
There's a lot of them.
Yep.
There's
They
only
have-
3 up there. What are you talking? It's only 10% of the field, or 17% of the field is there's not a lot.
What was our total number of novitiate players?
8.
8 novitiate players versus how many total melee players?
28.
Yeah, I think only maybe like, if I had to take a guess, maybe 2 or 3 novitiate players might push past that, but a lot of them are going to get hit on the way down.
The question, G, is will one of those 2 players make it top 10? I think that one of them will.
Yeah, okay, I could see that, but I think, yeah, you know, actually, yeah, Kellen's playing. He's pretty good at them.
There's a lot of good players playing novies. I think a lot of people have bitten the novitiates bug since I think 2022 they haven't been popular. So we have Tyler Johnson from Cats, we have Will Stock from Kill Team John, we have Trinity Allen, Matthew Barker, Bats player, we have Liam Shropshire from Chiller, we have Kellen Foster, Georgia Moore from Maple Leaf Gaming, and then we have Charles Emmanuel Monsieur. So there's a couple killers in there, and I definitely think they have the strong possibility of getting top 10. Giacomo, that you did not defend yourself very hard, my friend.
Well, I was still saying it on the Melee thing since you kind of got me thinking about that throughout this whole thing. I still think
fair.
in Melee, when they have to fight these Melee teams, they're going to get squashed. The sisters have 7 wounds each, right?
Yeah, that's rough.
They have pretty good dice manipulation, but Melee's the most dangerous zone for any team. That's where you die.
So
I agree. I think they get fucking annihilated by
But against other teams like
Felgor.
shooting stuff,
I think Felgor just
I
fucking
think
destroyed them.
it's not just all melee. Yeah, I think Felgor deal with them pretty well. It's actually like they can deal with other melee teams okay. I think it's Felgor provide a difficulty and several.
Jimmy,
of the
didn't you just play a match where you were drunk and you beat a novitiates player
you got to
pretty
narrow it
easily?
down.
Pretty
Yeah.
easily.
I beat a novitiates player while drunk. Hold on, are you talking about with my son?
No. I was trying not to name drop
I beat
people.
up my son while drunk all the time too. So we have to.
whoa!
Sorry,
Time to call Child
CPS?
Protective
This is a
Services.
joke? This is a joke. Oh goodness, I'm gonna go right to jail. Okay. When was this? Was this Merry Mayhem?
No, this was like recently in a recent game. You're playing Commandos.
Oh yes. Okay. Yes, I was Commandos, not Felgor.
Correct.
Commandos are really tough for Casterkin too.
Not Casterkin. You mean novitiates.
Novitiates. Yes. Obviously. Stop putting
All right.
words in my mouth,
Yep.
Dakotah.
Sorry.
No. So yeah. Sorry. I say the wrong word all the time. No. Commandos are tough for novitiates as well. Felgor, Commandos, but they are very good at other melee teams. They can deal with Colts and Gellerpox if played correctly, much better than Commandos and Felgor. I think they have a really good spot. I would be very surprised if one of those novitiates didn't make top 10.
I would be too.
Yeah.
Once again, now do more than one make top 10? I don't know.
That's
I
on
think
us.
one of them does. I think one of them, either through right pairings, right matchups, playing well, getting lucky, whatever. I think one of them has the tools. They deal with Pathfinders well. They have a good game into Vet Guard. I don't know. Could they beat Dakotah's Vet Guard? Obviously not. He's the best in the world. But
Yeah, his players are
I'm
impossible.
only
to kill.
ranked number 4th. Okay. Not
he's
number
the
one.
best in the world. Don't argue with me. That's something to do. They can deal with Casterkin. Like they have a lot of good matchups with a lot of the teams that we're seeing a lot of. Eldar. Oh my gosh, they love playing Eldar. And there's more Eldar than elites. They love elites. So that's like half the tournament between those two teams. I don't know. I think they have a lot of really good matchups. They do struggle with Felgor and Commandos. But with all, like, I think one of them's got to make top 10. I can't place them in probable, but one of them's got to be top 10.
Yeah.
I think
And
they're.
could win, but it's
I
tough.
think that they're also good into Vet Guard and Pathfinders and Inquisition. I think that I would love to try a new strategy against them, but I'm not going to have the chance. At least not for a little bit. So I'm comfortable with putting them in top 10.
Yeah, I can
Maybe you
at
get
least
some
relent that.
tips.
Yeah.
But you just like walk by and whisper in the ear to like a Vet Guard player. Other than Baki, he won't listen to you anyways, right?
Yeah.
But like go to some of the other Vet Guard players and like, hey, try this. And like see if anyone notices. Like, is it collusion? Is it bad sportsmanship? We don't know. Let's find out together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hot take that I think I'd love to try against them.
Yeah, I've heard it. I like it. I want to see it. I'm telling no one. I know some novitiates players. I'm not going to warn them. So I want you to try it out, Dakotah.
I do.
I want to see
try
what
it out.
happens.
So let's move on to our next team. Let's see here. I'm going off of. It looks like most of you guys put Gellerpox up there, and I didn't, and that's surprising to me. Gellerpox, yes, I think they're probably an S tier team in the right hands. I guess I have to.
I put them top 10, right?
Yeah, so we have Jonathan Marquis and Matthew Melton playing Gellerpox, and I think they're both great players, but do I think that those players will play this team into the top 5%? of the tournament. That means they can only lose one game, right? Possibly one game, maybe a game and a tie, maybe 2 ties if you max the rest of your scores. Because everyone has to remember this event has, 138 to 156 players that are going to be showing up, right? We had 87 players last year. If we get full numbers, 150 something, 165, however many players come this year, if we get that many players, like that's almost like double, which means that our top 8 is potentially was top 4 last year, right? And we're going to top 10 in this particular one. If we said top 15, I would put Gellerpox there. I just don't see them getting top 10. I foresee Gellerpox dropping 2 games. The only person I think in the world that can pilot Gellerpox to an undefeated is Orion, and Orion is taking Felg.
Put him on the shelf. Yeah, I think I have to back mine.
Yeah,
down.
I think I have to put him back
Thinking
to
there's only
positive.
2 of them.
Yeah,
You've
changes.
changed
because I was going in with this without
by the
a
way,
lot
this
of
sounds-
knowledge of stuff beforehand.
I think they're definitely A or S tier outside of this tournament for sure.
I don't think there's enough of them.
What we're
Right,
doing
just
is
there's not
I
enough.
feel like we're shooting on John. Like Jonathan
Marquise is a badass.
one of my favorite players. He is so cool. His Beetlejuice Gellerpox are some of my favorite models to exist. They're
that might give
so
them a
cool.
boost.
I think that that should bump them up to like plus on the next tier at least. They're such cool models. But I think you're right. There are only two, and if it was Orion, they'd be top 10 minimum.
No, they'd be probable.
If it was Orion, yeah. If it was
I don't know.
Orion,
Are we doing NFL rules where like the team that won, the player that won the year before doesn't win? It's just like a curse the next year?
No.
No, Orion's not cursed.
Well, I'm not saying he's cursed.
Thrice
I'm saying the
cursed.
person who wins is then cursed the following year to not win. Then they
What
can try to
you're
win
saying is
again.
He's not cursed, but Orion's cursed because Orion. No, you're saying Orion's cursed.
Out
How
of 100
dare you be-
Only,
out of 100
only this year because he won last year, and then the
Out of-
next year he'll be fine. He can win again.
Out of 100 between 140 and 164 players, there's only going to be one winner.
Yeah,
Right?
Exactly.
We're trying to predict that one winner.
If Orion wins every single LVO until he dies of old age in like 50, 80
I'll be
years,
happy. I like
Yeah,
Orion.
yeah. I'll be like, this is great. This is
Hey,
his
yeah,
tournament.
good for
I'd have
him.
no complaints. He could do it.
I foresee them dropping 2 games, and to me, that puts them out of top 10.
Yeah,
if
just
it's
positive,
2 games is
positive.
enough.
There's so
I
much
see-
to go on. There's
I
only 2
see-
players. Yeah,
I see Melty. Shout out to Melty. Firstly, he's a badass. Secondly, he's a badass. And
Yes, I heard he's going to play naked wearing a chicken sandwich. So
Finally.
that's-
yeah, probably.
yeah,
No, he did the voice acting for our narrative event this year for LVO. So
that's pretty awesome.
yeah, pretty sick. But yeah, I foresee them. Could they win it? Yeah, absolutely. I just foresee dropping 2 games throughout the event.
You talked me into it. I agree.
Yeah.
It's just
Not
the
the
amount of
way
players
to
only
talk
2.
down to Jonathan, because he's my favorite. But I think you're right. It's going to be very tough for only 2 players to not drop. I agree.
All right, so this one's a
You
split
convinced me.
decision from everyone.
No, go positive. I think
Oh,
yeah,
everyone
go
puts
positive.
on
Go
positive.
positive. I think I have to go positive for it.
Everyone's changed. You've
Okay.
convinced everyone, Dakotah.
So here's the crazy thing. The next one none of us agreed on except for Rob and Giacomo. So Rob and Giacomo, I'd love for you guys to change both mine and Jimmy's mind. The next one we are talking about the Kasser Kings. The Kasser Kings you both put in top 10, right? I put them in, they're going to go positive, and Jimmy, with his hot, spicy takes tonight, put them on struggle bus.
Struggle bus.
I don't think they're struggle bus, but I definitely think
He
they're
is-
not top 10 anymore.
He's in the Kasser Knots family
Oh,
tree.
yeah.
So
I think
how?
Giacomo abandoned me.
If you took Kasserkin, you're a bandwagon simp.
Oh my god!
Loser who just thinks like, oh, GW wants to give me a bunch of buffs. I'll take this. You're a loser and no one likes you if you
It's-
take Kasserkin.
Yeah, if your team just got a buff.
yeah.
Feldor.
Wait, hold on now, Rob. Hold on now. Sometimes GW knows that you need a buff because you're super cool. And
That's
you,
why Casterkin's got it.
you know what? No. So, anyways, these losers bringing this team, they're going to struggle because they're relying on their buffs, and they're not even that cool. No one even likes their buffs. So, I don't think they're good enough.
I still think they're going to be top 10 because the thing that swings it for me is we've got 8 Casterkin players. So is one of those 8 only going to drop one game? I think that could be. I know they're not great into melee, but I think one of the 8 could maybe get in that top 10.
Then it would just come down to which of the melee players in the top 10 are going to take them out, or not be, because when I play Casterkin, anyone who closes the gap, I'm dead. Like, you got 3 attacks in close combat, and if you did for Cadia, that might be like your only chance.
Now again, there's 6 Casterkins in Pod A and 0 Felgor, so you could have one of them.
I have to use those numbers too.
But they struggle into commandos.
They do, yeah, and they've got the big commando.
And there's probably is there novitiates in their pod?
Yeah, they struggle in novitiates.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I have a Kill Team member who's bringing Casterkin, and I want him to do well. I think they're going to struggle. Now, here's the thing. They could totally go top 10. But also, you can do great. You can do amazing and still not make top 10. Like, you can have a great run, be proud of yourself, go 7-2, and kill almost everyone, and still not make all the same rules for why Gellerpox wouldn't go top 10. The difference is there's going to be more players. So it's borderline for me. I think I don't think it's going to go well. I think there's so many teams, they do great into elites. We don't have many elites.
There are the reasons.
Yeah, I don't know.
22 doesn't sound like a lot in this tournament, though.
Yeah, no, it's nothing. It's tiny. I think we're going to start. If you need to face elites to do well, and their biggest buff of being able to alter 2 dice, that only really works for elites. If you're dumping a bunch of elite points to take out 1 commando, you're not going to win that game. Like, if you're doing that for 10 or fewer models, you're not going to win, or 10 or more models, you're not going to win that game. It's just you can dump your elite points to help take out an elite model. That's it. And their elites aren't going to be prevalent. So you're going to be like the biggest buff they got is not going to be a factor for most of the matchups.
I still think that no matter what you say, Jimmy, they're going to go positive.
Positive for sure.
Okay, fine. But collectively, there's 8 of them. All 8 of them. So 8, that's how 8 times 9, 72 games. So that means they have to win 37 games.
If they play against those elite teams that are there, they could do it.
But they won't. They're not there. There's I don't know. Okay, look, I'm not going to try to convince you down to struggle boys, struggle bus, struggle boys,
could be struggle girls,
struggle kings,
struggle kings. Wow, I like that one.
I don't know.
Too bad they're Caster Kings. They're going positive, all of them. I think Chuck Peppers has a chance to go top 10 or win the whole event too. I mean, he's from Cats. He's amazing with the team. Austin is bringing them as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of good players bringing them.
I put them in struggle bus just to help balance you losers. I put them in top 10.
You're the struggle king bus.
Yeah. I'm just trying to overbalance the other way so we can agree and compromise to go positive. I'm willing to do that.
Angry Casterkin sounds.
That's fair.
Dang,
I don't like them, but I think
they
got a chance at top 10. But I think I'm being outvoted, I mean, yeah. And we all know that Giacomo hates Casterkin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, so why are you are you rooting for him? Q? G? What's up?
I like the team because I own the team, but even when they got their buff, I just thought it was fine. It made him really good, but it wasn't anything that's wow, this is
you're telling me that Jimmy Kelly or that Dakotah overhyped them when they first got a buff.
Remember, even I was telling you it's a good buff, it's a very good buff. I would have rather had Furcadia be a little stronger, and that would have been enough for me.
I can't wait to see them win LVO
and just show us all wrong.
Yeah,
and Rob was
I'm
like,
gonna
fucking
go
right.
buy a crown somewhere in Vegas. It should not be hard to find.
Nope.
And then I'm gonna give that player a crown and like take a picture with them and be like, Caster King, see?
No matter
Make
what
a meme
Dakotah
out of it.
wins. That's what Dakotah wants in life. He just stirs up chaos. Like if they do great, he's like, see, I started Caster Kings. I win. And they do terrible. He's like, see, I'm the one who said they wouldn't make top 10. I win. Like no matter what they do, Dakotah's there to be like, I told you so. This
All right,
is how
Dakotah,
I predicted it.
Where do you stand on that choice? So you have to lose now.
For what?
Take a hard
Jimmy
stance.
just
Are they
said.
Caster King or they go positive?
They're
Where's
Caster
your
Kings.
stance,
They're
Dakotah?
Caster Kings, 100%.
And they're just
You
they
didn't put
just
them in
happen
top
to be
10.
I didn't. No, I think they have a possibility of getting there, but I definitely think that they will go positive. I think. Okay, so here's my thing about Caster King.
You can't say
Caster Kings.
Caster King and then put him in C tier. This is ridiculous.
This is
Guys, you
my
call bullshit, right?
this is my take. This is my
if
win or
anything,
lose.
this is B tier.
Going baby.
This is my win or lose, right? I think every single Caster King player, my homies in camo, I think every single one of them are going to go positive.
Every single one of them.
Every single Caster
I'll
King
take that
player
bet. I'll
will
take that
go
bet.
positive. See,
How
now
much
I have a
will that?
chance to lose.
Oh,
now
yeah,
I have
yeah.
a chance to lose,
There you
right?
go. I like that. I like that.
Okay. Okay. I
What's
think
that, 5 games
but-
they need to win.
yeah, but I don't think that any of them are going to
Go top 10.
go top 10. Now, I mean, hey, is positive still
I think you lose
50-50?
both
I think
those
so.
bets. You could lose both those bets easy.
I definitely could.
I
You
think-
guys asked me
I don't
for
know
a hot take. That's my hot
Okay,
take.
that's a hot
What do
take.
you
That is
lose
a-
if you lose?
I think that they are so reliable. I think this team will easily be able to do that. I think almost any player currently can pilot them to a positive win rate at a tournament. I think that they are going to shit on every single player that doesn't know how to play into them.
Mhm.
They're going to easily win things. They're going to have the best dice fixing and manipulation in all of Kill Team.
You just made
Um,
Kellen very mad because novitiates have pretty good dice fixing.
Yeah, they do, but they still don't
Pretty
have
good's
the
not-
best.
the best.
Yeah. So, like, in the right circumstances, I think over 9 games, we're going to see the majority of the team just go positive just because of how reliable they are. Of course, that one guy who fights into Felgor all like 6 of the 9 games,
Oh, sorry, man.
he won't win. But, you know, then I lose my bet, and that's okay. Then I can still say, hey, well,
Make the
50% of the
chicken
team went 50% higher.
Yeah. Some guy's going to go up to you round 7. He's like, excuse me, Dakotah, this is my 7th round of straight Felgor, and there's only 6 Felgor players, and I don't know how this happened. And you're just going to be like, well, I hate you, and so does God. And just,
Do you mean the Emperor?
And I
yeah. The God Emperor and me both hate you. He does not protect you. So,
Well, there's some lists that haven't been submitted yet, right?
Yeah, there's a couple lists that still haven't been submitted.
Who knows? It could be Felgor.
So it looks like
we can only hope.
so we talked about breachers earlier in the podcast. So we're just going to place them because I'm looking at G's list first, and G, you put them in top 10. There's only 2. There's only 2 breachers.
Yeah. See, again, I was going with this without having that information.
Okay.
There's
So
no
do you think they go into positive? Do you think they go into struggle bus?
I think they go positive. They still have pretty good play into the teams that are going to be like, once they get kicked out of potential to do that, then they could probably win about 5 of their games, like more than half.
Who are the 2 players?
Let's find out.
Everybody's
So
doing shout outs today.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. We
this
have
is just a podcast to talk about
we have
all
some great players
8,000
playing them.
players.
We have Greg Marquino from Cats, who's really good. And then we have Miles Nunez, also really good from
Yeah, he's
West
great.
Coast.
So, okay.
I think they
He's been
easily
named
go
for a while.
positive. I think
Yeah.
both. Yeah.
No.
I think they will have it at 50%. I will think they have
It is
over a 50% win
Toss
rate.
up is a toss up if they go positive. I am
Jimmy, why'd you ask to see the players in the first place?
Because I want to
You're
know.
that Miles
I want to look
hates
in their
you.
eyes and be like, I didn't believe in you. So when I see Miles, I'll be like, hey, Miles, what's up? Love you, bro. It was you I doubted. I love breachers, but you. I want to do that because I'm a really horrible person. No, I think they really struggle. It's like, could they go positive? Totally. This meta sucks for them. It sucks. but they can easily beat Caster King. So I don't know. Put them in go positive because I know you want to, but they're definitely not top 10.
Easy. All right. Okay.
Do we have any other top 10? Because right now we just have 7.
I put Scouts in there, and I put Star Striders. And I put
Star
Blood.
Striders for sure.
Star Striders, yeah.
Yeah, Star Striders for sure.
Star Striders.
So we have some amazing players bringing Star Striders.
Yep.
John Reese, can you roll a crit is one of them,
Mhm.
right? Great player in general.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He must know some secret tech. I think I have them in A tier for sure.
I don't
They're
think you
really-
need secret tech. They're very versatile. They can do like anything.
Yeah.
It's a high ceiling.
The only thing about the team is that the models fucking suck. But John Reese fixed that. And
Sorry, is this a hobby podcast? Get off your high horse.
he fixed it by bringing an entirely different model.
I thought most of them were cool.
Dude,
Yeah.
one of them, I was like, I want that model. It's like this chick with a metal arm and like her can you roll a crit? He has this
John
one.
Reese.
He has this one model who's like holding a shotgun. Like her spacesuit is like half off of her body and it's like hanging down around her hips. And she has like a metal arm. She's just fucking hot, bro. I'm like, damn, I want that model.
Bro,
God,
you just want to be naked with a chicken sandwich.
that's true. That's true. Preferably with that model.
Was running a
Full
chicken
circle.
sandwich. That'd be the best. So I love that your biggest complaint is they're not cute enough. They're like, ugh, the models are so.
They have a
ugly.
dog.
I would agree. I think
The
just
dog
the
is
leader's kind of like, man, why do they got to wear the veil? Like, it just doesn't.
Okay.
What's the leader doing?
Rob,
you know?
are you the only one who's
She has
annoyed by
horrific
this?
scarification, okay?
I don't want to jump into this.
Still, you
This
could
is
have
not
cool
my business.
scarification, just have like a better pose. This
You
is
guys
like
are so
this is
vapid
like
and shallow. What a bunch of guys.
this is like the
like-
Archon level of like garbage models from 40K.
Me and Rob
That
care about
Archon
character.
sucked.
We care about substance.
That's true.
Yeah.
The Archon did suck.
What's below the surface?
Well, you can't see because this is a model.
rails.
So I also put Blooded up here.
Oh, no way. No way.
I think positive for sure.
Yeah.
Positive. There's
You guys don't
Only two of
think
them, right?
Nick Craven has a possibility of getting top
Nope.
10?
Nope.
I think it's
And
a possibility.
I
but
love
it's
the dude.
dropping
He's
2 teams.
amazing. No way.
What?
Nope. Not in
What?
this one. Hey, I'm going off of Baki's.
Dakotah, how many top 10s can there be?
There can be infinite.
Oh,
There
Blooded.
could literally be
That didn't
10.
happen.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We only have 8. There could be
There's gonna
10
be some
unique
doubles.
factions.
Well,
There
why
could
did-
be 10 unique factions. Get the fuck
Only
out of
gonna be
here.
3 commandos.
You, in your whole heart, you know that's not true.
There could be 10 commandos, okay? There's enough commando players. Nicole just won a tournament with commandos. I mean, come on.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know,
Stepping up.
there's gonna
She's
be
doing it.
doubles.
So
I
y'all
put Legionnaire.
are
up there.
putting them in positive?
Positive
Yes.
for sure.
Who?
See, if we
Blooded?
don't put them in top, I think they go in struggle bus.
What? Why do
Why
you?
struggle bus? What do you think so?
Okay, Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last. What's going on?
I think Nick Craven is going to pilot them to the top 10. If we don't put that, I don't think the rest of the team will do.
I
That
believe in
will.
Nick. I don't think he can do it. I genuinely don't think he can do
You
it.
hear that, Nick? You better
Oh, I
bring
hope he hears
you
it.
better bring a burger against
I'm
your
texting.
game against Jimmy Kelly and prove who the better melee horde is.
Or
My
a chicken
guy.
sandwich.
Oh, please do. I will be there wearing my chicken sandwich. Loud and proud. So it's on. No, I'd say yeah. I'm totally fine with struggle bus. I
Oh
think
my
blooded are going
goodness.
to have a hard time.
What do you guys say? Are you guys putting him in positive or struggle bus?
Positive.
Positive.
All right. Well, I think
go with them? Don't listen Don't listen to me.
Well, what do you think,
Roll me.
Dakotah?
I mean, I don't know who
He said struggle bus.
I don't know who Vince Cerruti is. Cerruti? I don't know who Vince
Who's
is.
Alan? He's on Kill Team and Coffee. You know him.
He's
Rob.
from
that's-
Alan Herrera. He's pretty good too. All of Kill Team and Coffee is really good. In fact, Miles is also part of Kill Team and Coffee. They're one of the other smaller but more competitive groups out of SoCal.
Mhm.
I don't know who Reno is. Reno Xeno Scum.
It's a
So
cool
are they
name.
is that from
a very
Reno?
cool
The
name.
Reno squad? He could be.
I hope he's from Reno. That'd be weird if he wasn't.
Placed on the team.
Hey, Reno,
Shout out to you,
where are you
Vince.
from? Albuquerque.
Come say what's up, bro. All right, so I guess we're putting them in positive. Okay,
Yes.
move on to the next team. I also have scouts. Dude, I just fucked up. Like all
Awesome.
you guys are like, nah, you're stupid, Dakotah. All of your picks are wrong outside of Vet Guard and Commandos. I was like, okay. I also put scouts in top 10. I think Rob is going to pilot them there.
Sorry, Rob, you're going
Oh,
positive.
Rob,
I appreciate that, but I don't know if they're there yet.
going
I'm
positive.
not there yet.
I think
They
they're
play
super
just like
strong.
Eldar, my guy. You got this. I believe in you, Rob.
No free dash.
Yeah, they don't need it. I think
You
they're
have
really
3
strong, but they
dashes.
also struggle with melee.
Not if you do the stupid airwalking, which I'm pretty sure I'm going
But
to not allow.
On one guy though.
Yeah. Are you pretty sure, or are you confident you're not going to allow airwalking?
If you fucking abuse the shit out of that, you'll probably get a yellow card. I'm going to come out with a fact probably before this episode drops, but airwalking, Spider-Manning, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I got to figure out a fix to it because it is one of the dumbest mechanics. So how it currently works.
No parkouring, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. So essentially this model can do a free climb, cost 2 inches of movement, right? Climb up, quote unquote, to a vantage from like 6 inches away, right? Get within an inch of the edge, drop, and automatically get lethal threes.
Lethal 3 up.
Yeah. So like, it's a whole nother problem in itself. I don't know how to address. So you all say
Dakotah,
there.
why don't you let me try it a bunch of times?
No,
like,
Rob.
Every game.
How many yellow cards
then-
do you want?
How many can I get?
He wants to get up to where he gets 2 and then gets a red card.
Dakotah doesn't know what red is.
That's true.
I do.
That's true.
Yeah.
So does everyone disagree with me? Because I can't say anything else. I just believe in Rob.
Positive.
Positive.
The
I
man
actually put him in.
I know that
Struggle
you
Bus.
put him in struggle bus. Shut up, Rob. You got
Yeah,
fucking
he's being
outvoted.
humble. This is bullshit. These people trying to be humble and like, oh, I don't think I can stop it.
I'm
We know
taking
you're
this
lying.
team and I'm going to go negative at the event.
Yeah.
Get out of here,
I'm the one
Rob.
being honest. I put my team in S tier because I believe in myself.
I haven't played him yet. I'm just not gonna just theory crafting, so I don't know.
I think you're going to do all right because I think people are going to forget the rules and go like, oh, fuck, you could do that.
After 3 games, Rob, you're going to get this team down and you're not going to lose another fucking game.
Exactly.
No, they're very good, and Rob, you're going to do super good, but you can do super good and still not be top 10. Top 10 is super hard.
I agree.
It's going to be very hard, and I think scouts are amazing. I think they're the better of the 2 new teams. They're like Kellen loves them. He's been telling me just how amazing they are. Super
Like
believe-
Exaction Squad, amazing.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Oh boy.
Oh, that's so
Hot take.
fucked
Oh
up.
boy. Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. So I guess let's just discredit anything else Kellen has to say. You're right.
Kellen's got a
Sorry,
I
debate.
apologize, Kellen.
Kellen, I can see Kellen right now. He's just closing his eyes, like with this weird smirk and just shaking his head back and forth, just like I can't believe they just
His
went there.
machines are going to crush
He's
me.
like, how dare you question me? I'm the debate master. You're not allowed.
He's the master debater. You're right.
Oh boy.
All right. So I guess that looks like it's the final of the. No, there's one more. Rob did something. He put someone in there. You're gonna have to defend yourself, Rob. Rob ended up putting legionaries in top 10.
The fuck?
I just think there's 11 of them, and they're just a consistently good team. But again, I think I was thinking like, top 10 a normal event is, top 10% or less.
Right.
Or more. Now we're locking like 7%. So
They're super hard to run though. So let's see who's running them.
So we have Alan Lepowski. We have Art Runtarek, who's a very competitive player from the East Coast.
Ben Campbell.
We have
Ben.
Ben Barishman, Ben Campbell,
Hey.
the Black Knight, Daniel Esperanza, Elijah Sanchez, Leo Gala, Paul Bader, Remy Durand, and Sri.
So here's the thing. If Shane was running them, the best legionary player in the world,
I would put them in probability to win.
I wouldn't. I still wouldn't put him in probable, but I put him in top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
In this meta, even Shane would not be probable to win.
Yeah, I was just looking at the numbers, the sheer 11 of them. But I could
There's
definitely
too
walk
many
that back.
teams to deal with them.
They have to fight
Um,
Masterkin. They have to fight.
But without Shane, without a top legionary player, they're go positive. They're not top 10.
I believe in you, Ben Campbell.
I believe in you too, Ben. I want
But-
you to just make people cry.
But I agree. I think they're going positive.
Yeah, I want Ben to do amazing.
Wrong Legion there.
Yeah, they're not going there.
Where are they?
Doesn't matter. We know which one it is.
I don't know which one it is.
The guy with the sword and the flame.
Oh, that guy. There we go. All right. So moving on to the rest of our go positive list.
I had a few errors. I accidentally had put.
So I'm going to stop looking at Giacomo's. Giacomo's changing his mind.
I
Right
put
away.
an error in one of them. I realized I put both the AdMech and Go Positive. They should be in Struggle Bus, and one of them shouldn't exist.
So I have another top 10. I forgot. I have Void Dancers in my top 10.
Go Positive for me.
Nope. I don't even.
You don't think Void Dancers have a chance to take a top spot?
Nope. And I don't even want to put the energy into explaining why. Just no.
I think everyone else has put them in go positive. So should we put the Harlequins,
go
the
positive.
dancers, and go positive?
It's hard not to go positive overall. Like,
You can fly.
You can fly.
yeah.
You can also domino field. You also have an invulnerable save.
Yeah.
You also have Harlequin kisses.
And 3
You
APL.
also laugh at everyone.
But if they run into their Harlequin quiz,
But there are
kiss,
8
then they
models
die.
with 8 wounds. So like like commandos and Felgor and Colts. Well, no, they can do okay in Colts. But Gellerpox, commandos, Felgor, it's tough. A melee team with 8 models and 8 wounds. It's same reason we'll get to when we get to Blades of Cain. It's going to be very hard for them to be top 10 or win.
Well, we're bringing out. We're going to do the rest of the Eldar because I have now moved on to Rob's list, and Rob has put all 3 Elven teams in top half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
See, they're not all.
I could agree with that.
No, they're
I
not
think
all.
Blades of Cains are the questionable one because I don't know, but
Yeah, people
I
have
had to-
not
I
had
had to
enough
go-
time with them. They're very focused. Like they're going to take. I think in a while, if top players start running them, we'll really find out what they can do. I don't think we're going to see them run their potential at LVO.
it's gonna be hard 9 games for you to figure it out. Like
So,
so many
But it's
options.
too
Same
late.
thing for
You're
your
going to
opponent.
learn by. You're going to.
Yeah, I know. Like
You're gonna
day
lose.
3, you're gonna be so exhausted.
So before this year's over, we'll know where Blades of Cain is. But I just don't think they're going to be as high as they should be in this tournament. So I put them in struggle bus just because of that.
To be honest, I think that Charlotte probably has the best. Who's playing this team probably has the best chance to go positive with the team. But I think the team is so new. I think that everyone else is going to
And
really
remember,
struggle
for
with this team.
There's 3 people bringing them, right?
Yeah, there's only 3.
This
There's
is
only 3.
them averaged out over all 3. So that's 27 games. Charlotte may go positive, but will all 3 players go positive overall? I don't think so. So Charlotte can still go positive. That doesn't mean the team as a collective is going to be going positive.
Sounds good. I think that
Of all the Eldar, I think they're going to struggle the most.
I agree.
yeah,
That doesn't mean they're not
struggle.
potential. I think we're going to find their potential, but it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of games.
It's going to take a bunch. I think it's going to take months, and I think it's going to take.
Like
a month.
blooded.
It's going to take some. Like they're going to be like commandos initially. Everyone thought like, or no, Vetguard initially. People didn't believe it. They're like commandos.
Once they get a buff, I think the team will start to really perform well. But I think that's just going to be because people are going to figure out the team by the time they get the buff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that there's a lot of people out there. There are certain people in my inner circle that tell me that the team is really, really good, and that there are some people out there that are performing really well with them. But some of these people have already had these teams for a while. So
It's going to take time to see it.
yeah. So, and that's the thing, is that the team is going to take a while for people to get to know, in my humble opinion, which is not very humble, I guess. It's very demanding. Corsairs, I believe I also put them in struggle bus. I think that maybe I'm not super. What about these buffs are making them so good, Rob?
So before Outcasts had to be within 6 inches. You had to be
What
6
is
inches
Outcasts?
So if you have Outcast up as a strategic ploy, if you are more than 6 inches from a friendly operative and you gain a crit, you can retain a miss as a hit. Now it's only 3 inches. And so that's pretty big. And then also the ambush The way Ambush was written first is you had to be engaged, or it didn't say you had to be engaged, but you had to make a charge move. So you would have to be an engaged model to do the ambush. But now you can be engaged or ready and concealed.
Yep.
And you flip to engage.
Big.
So that one's really, I think, more of a quality of life because it's not going to change the game.
I
much,
agree.
but meaning you can be outside of 3 inches or within more than 3 inches away from a friendly operative and then get a little bit of dice manipulation, which is the only dice manipulation they have. I think that's going to be pretty strong. And also for a mixed tournament, I mean, Into the Dark, they're pretty good. Power Swords and then Open, they're pretty good for that too. So I think positive. I mean,
well, let's talk about that real quick. Several top players brought Corsairs to KTO, and they did not do well. I don't think they're good on Into the Dark.
I think they can be good, but I don't think that
Adrian, who's won everything else he's gone to, took Corsairs to KTO, and no one talked about him for a reason. Like,
I mean, I'm not. I mean, I witnessed how
seen someone do well with him on Into the Dark.
Rob literally made me shit my pants when he fought me with them and crushed me on Into the Dark for the very first time I ever played Into the Dark with this team.
But you're not very good though. So
yeah.
You weren't at that game. That was your first Into the Dark.
Clearly, I'm teasing. I apologize, Dakotah. Don't ban me from LVO. I'm sorry.
I think if this team, I think I would put them in Go Positive, but I think they are more at the lower end of Go Positive, just because
they've had like a 50% win rate since the beginning, so they might just be our middle line.
They're on the fence. I put them on Struggle Bus, and then they're really on the fence for me. Like,
gee, where are you putting them? Here?
I think the changes to their stuff just edges them out enough to maybe go positive.
Okay.
Dude, I think we're going to see them collectively, like within 1 or 2 games of 50% from the players that bring them. I think it's going to be
I can see that.
close to the middle as possible. Of the Eldar teams, I think Void Dancers has a really good chance to be the top Eldar team. Blades of Cain will be the worst Eldar team. Corsairs will be in the middle. Hand of the Archon, which we're going to get to now, I'm guessing. That's
Positive.
the wild card. That's the
Positive,
wild
100%.
I think positive.
The worst matchup is Commandos. That's their worst matchup.
Yeah, but there's only 12
There's
commandos
only
in the
12.
tournament.
What are you talking about?
It's like
There's
10%.
so many Commandos.
It's 8.8%.
Well, let's assume that those commando players do well and drop Hand of the Archon. Well, the Hand of the Archon only had to play them like maybe twice, because they just had to play everyone else now.
You know who else does well against Hand of the Archon? Castrican. You know who else does well? Felgor. I don't know. But they are
I've never
very
lost
strong.
to Felgor with Hand of the Archon. I've only lost a few times Commandos. I think they've got. They might be off the hot list now. Maybe people aren't taking as much, but they've got.
Hey, Rob, you busy this weekend? Let's get together and play a game.
This weekend after this tournament drops, this podcast drops, I will be busy. Yes.
No, I wonder what.
The podcast drops. All right. Before the podcast drops. And then Dakotah can sleep in a little update, like a little tag in the bottom. Hey, by the way, Jimmy and Rob played. Here's how it went. So
We did play.
it can be included with it.
Hey, you guys tied.
Oh, yeah. That'll probably happen.
I think, Jimmy, you've got the edge on our overall record by like 1 game. I think we're pretty close.
We are, dude. Well, by the way, some of my favorite games, dude. We've had some great games.
We just need to use a time clock because we chat too much.
We do because we're having
We
too much
take too
fun.
long.
We have like tea and crumpets, and we're just
Everyone at
having
LVO, do not be afraid of time clocks.
No,
We will be
Time
given-
clock standard.
no one let me talk either. I talk way too much, and then like halfway through, like, hey, are we playing a game? Like, I don't know. I thought we were just talking.
Is it your turn? My turn?
Like, are we at a tournament? What's going on? Like, no, I'm bad. But no, Rob, we've had some fantastic games, and we are like really close. But we should get this game in. Maybe
So-
yeah.
So Wormblade, let's move on to Wormblade. Wormblade, are we going Go Positive or are they going in top 10?
Wait, why would you
Pretty-
go to
So tough.
Not top 10. I mean, go positive or struggle?
struggle for me?
I think they're
I
going to
think-
struggle. I think
Just like
Anthony's
Dakotah was saying, I think they're between top 10 and struggle.
There's only 2 players playing them. There's Anthony and then there's John Boudouin. So are you saying that Anthony's not going to, play them pretty well, and then John is also not going to play them pretty? He's a pretty good
Yeah, I thought there were 3.
Gene Stealer players. I played him at Merry Mayhem.
Yeah, I think, top half
Did it at
then.
Mary Mayhem?
Yeah, I played him at Merry Mayhem. He was,
Their buffs are going to be
Wormblade?
pretty spicy.
Interesting. I think Anthony is an incredible player. And I think if anyone could take Wormblade to top 10 or win, it'd be Anthony.
maybe Janice. Janice is also a really good.
Oh no,
player.
that's true. Janice is
But
incredible.
Janice
too.
is playing Pathfinders.
Yeah.
Yeah, she.
But here's the thing.
So that
Janice-
argument's
blue pill
irrelevant.
Janice.
let's be honest here. Anthony has the burning passion to destroy his enemies. Like he's going to bring some intensity to win those games. I mean that with all love and respect. But like he's
He
going to
got top
like
8 last year. So
yeah, dude. He brought it. He did what like when everyone like totally counted Wormblade out. He
Hey,
showed up.
I
He
think
got
he was
fourth, right?
he was
got, like,
five at he was
fourth.
5-0 up until game 6.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He did pretty good. Not pretty. He did really good. He did.
And now they're the strongest they've ever been. But
yeah,
then
he got a
again,
good buff.
Felgor didn't exist.
Right. Yeah. No. Into the Dark wasn't in last year. But if anyone could bring them to top 10, it would be Anthony. I have no.
So, yeah,
I think Rob, you
top
agree,
half.
right?
yeah.
There's
Top
also
half.
there's another player back east who has a really good high win rate with them too. And once he stopped playing them, their win rates tanked, and then they finally got a buff. So shout out to that guy.
Well, that's where Anthony doesn't go to a lot of tournaments, so he's not doing a lot to contribute to their global win rates.
Not
He
this
just-
year.
If you play with him locally, you know who he is and you understand how good he is.
Yeah.
But he hasn't showed up to a lot of big events.
Moving to Space Marines.
Tough. You put him wherever you want. It's a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Wormblade could show up and do really well. They could struggle. We don't know. Put them wherever you want. We'll see
So-
how Anthony does with them.
So Space Marines, Intercession. I'm putting them in struggle bus. I think there's too many high
Yep.
AP teams.
Yeah, nothing else about it.
I
And
think
there's a lot of new players.
I
don't know
think
if
they're going to
new,
be maybe at the top of struggle bus, but I still think they're going to be in the struggle bus. Like I don't know if they'll place top 50%.
What does it mean to be at the top of struggle bus? Like, I mean,
Maybe like
you
a 45%,
almost made it to half.
like a 45% win rate overall, or something, 47 or something
they're
like that.
king of the losers. So,
Cast
Actually, no, I think Phobos is better than them currently.
I
in
think
this
they
meta.
edge them
Phobos
out,
is- I
and
think
they
Phobos
almost
is
edge to
positive.
positive. They could
Yeah,
almost
Phobos is go
positive it.
positive. That of all the they're go positive.
There is a
Death Watch.
Death Watch player. I'm going to put him in just for fun.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
It's gonna be a great
Death
time.
Guard also.
Just for
They're
fun.
having a
Just
good
for fun.
time.
Hold on, Death Guard.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty
They can
decent.
deal with melee teams. A bunch
Yeah.
of wounds, 5 up, feel no pain.
But the slow movement.
I
unless
think
you
they
got the
deserve
bell guy.
struggle bus.
Do you think
Yeah.
they
You think
deserve
they serve a struggle
bus?
bus? Hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They're good enough for struggle bus.
Okay.
Now, can they move? No.
No.
Are they able to do anything else? No. But like, are there 6 models with a bunch of wounds and a 5 up feel no pain? Yes. That's good enough. That's good. We're good. Let's move on.
Our final is Custodes.
We have another companion as
yeah.
well.
Oh, which well
Greenskins.
we'll get the greenskins next. We're gonna do Space Marines first.
Oh yeah.
Or
I don't know if I should weigh in. I think I'm too biased.
yeah,
think-
you're too
I think-
biased.
I think it's a struggle.
e- Everyone,
I won't vote just like Felgor. Go ahead, guys.
everyone who believes in this team believes in them because Jimmy Kelly surprised everyone by winning KTO. If you got second at KTO, by the way, there would be no hype behind this team. The only
Zero.
fact that there's hype is
It
because
was 1 point.
you won
Yeah.
by 1.
No. If Shane got that by the point, no one would have even known I got second place. It would have been never mentioned.
Yeah. I also put them in struggle bus. I don't know.
You bastard.
I think that Jesh has a really good possibility of going deep with them. But I just think that it's just so untested. We've only seen them do good at one event and never again. And that event was all Into the Dark, which is arguably their strongest. And this is at least 50% open. They
There's
should,
a lot of elite killers.
I don't know
out
if
there,
people
too.
even know who Jesh is, though.
Jeshua, so everyone knows, is probably one of Jimmy Kelly's
It's probably
Probably
one of his best children players. I would put him on the same level as Liam and Leander. I've played against both Liam and Leander, and they both kicked my ass at KTO. I have gotten better, boys. Looking for that rematch. Besides that, more plasma spammers. But Jesh has definitely raised to the level of those two boys. And I can tell you what, those Leander and Liam have both went to many tournaments and beaten many, many adults. Jesh is right there with them. So he definitely could take this team pretty deep. I want to see it to believe it.
Yeah. Let's definitely put him in a struggle bus because I want to see Jesh squirm a bit. I want him to see this team sucks. And I want to see him have to like prove it. I believe they can go strong, but they have weaknesses. And I don't want to spend too much time focusing on them. I think there's another tier coming up. I'm going to put him in that one.
All right.
But
so we have the final two compendium teams. We have High Fleet and we have Greenskins, both being taken by Plasma Spammers, who are both very competitive players. In fact, I played Jeremy and his High Fleet at Nova, and I ended up taking the dub. And I believe I won that game because High Fleet has a really, really poor matchup into Vetguard, if you know how to play it right. But he got 2 wins to get to me to play against me. I think that the team definitely has legs. But will they go positive? That's the question. And there's only Jeremy.
So now we're voting on one guy.
Yeah,
We're just picking one guy and being like, how much does this guy suck?
So here's the thing. I originally put them in just for fun, but
Me too.
But here's the thing. I know Jeremy, and I know that he's been playing this team really hard, and I actually think that he's going to go positive. I think that he's going to surprise enough people, and I don't think that he would bring a team to a tournament that, sucks, because they're not bad. I think he'll go positive. He went 50-50 at Nova. I don't remember 100%, but he
we
at
are
least
bigger
went
than
50-50.
Nova.
What team did you bring?
Twice as big. He brought this team. He brought High Fleet. He's been maining them. Yeah.
I don't know how much Compendium can really compete with a lot of this, though. They just don't have the support and never gotten any sort of buffs.
Custodes has 3 players to bring him down. Okay. Now there's a couple. I don't know these guys. I've seen a couple of the people's art on some of these guys. The Custodes players are absolutely killing it via artistic wise. But there's only one player bringing.
So if he goes 5 and 4, that's positive.
Exactly. And guess what? There's 3 Into the Dark, and they are the strongest that they are in Into the Dark. They don't have to bring Gene Stealers in their Super Conceal. On Open, they have to bring Gene Stealers, but on Into the Dark, they can bring some crazy shit. They can bring 7 Raptors. Like they just surprise people. They can just maul teams. It's crazy. I don't know. I'm going with go positive. What do you fellas say?
I don't know the player, so I put him in just for fun, but you're convinced me to get him at least up to struggle bus.
I put him at least to
I
struggle.
don't know. I felt that passion from Dakotah. Let's go positive. Let's do it.
So
Let's
it's-
I do want to
50.
call out, we've got a lot of more positives than struggle bus.
We sure fucking do.
Yeah.
We believe in the community.
Here's the thing.
Those 11 intercessors are going to be doing some work in that bottom half.
Yeah,
They're going to be losing the entire tournament.
guys, I just want to let you know I've taken a statistics class, and math be damned. Let's put everyone in go positive. Do it. Let's go.
So our final team is Eric Cecil, who we just had him on the podcast. He, for some reason, decided to bring Greenskins. I know Greenskins are a menace on Into the Dark, according to Jimmy Kelly and our last podcasts.
I'm going to go with just for fun because I'm pretty sure in the podcast he said, I'm bringing these just for fun.
Yeah,
I'm
just
pretty
for
sure
fun.
as well. I love you, Eric.
They take Justinian for fun, because then we would know.
That's true. That's true.
No, I think it's just for fun. Even though they can be good on Into the Dark, the melee teams that do exist in this meta are tough to deal with.
Mhm.
So it's.
I'm
But hey,
looking forward for Eric to go positive and prove us all wrong.
I hope.
Yeah.
Don't let it be like the car ride home, Eric. Don't let it be like the car ride home, my guy. All right.
I hope we're wrong on all this. I hope Commandos, the best is like 12th place. There's no commandos in the top 10. That'd be amazing.
I
And
just want
Vetguard-
Eric to win the whole thing and then like just prove us all wrong.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny.
I hope Vetguard don't win a single match. Whole time. Just 0 and fucking 50. Like who can, I don't know. Like just like
Oh man, you're trying to get Vetguard a buff, my guy, dude. I would be ranked number 8th in this entire LVO if I was here. Come on,
Okay,
come
not
on.
that far. I hope they lose everything, and GW's like they're still fine. They've
That's
never nerfed them. They've never buffed them.
Didn't
Let's
need
leave
it.
it right there.
Yeah. So moving on to let me put myself in the book. I'm going with Hearthkin, and I'm put him in Struggle Bus.
Struggle bus.
Yeah. Too slow.
Everyone
Too slow.
agrees.
It's the speed. Speed.
Jimmy,
kills in
where
this
do you
game.
put him?
I put him in struggle bus.
Cool. We're all agreeance. There's no need to argue. Sorry.
But
Sorry.
Here's the thing, though. They can do really well. I think they could theoretically be top 10, but they're one of the hardest teams to run.
No, they aren't good. Jimmy, they're not good.
They
right.
can be good. They have good abilities. They can be good on melee and shooting. You can't just shoot them off the board, and a lot of teams aren't able to melee them off the board. They have so many good things, but who's bringing them? They are one of the hardest teams to run. It's tough. They are struggle bus. But
So we have James Skinner, Zachary LaRue, and Aiden McGeeth. Aiden, we already know he plays just for fun. Okay.
Hell yeah, chaos.
Hell yeah. Let's
he's
fucking
the
go.
best. He's the best player.
I don't know
He's the best
Zachary
player.
and
He's gonna
James.
win best
James-
for LVO.
Yeah, James Skinner is good. The question
Yeah.
is Aiden and Zachary gonna bring James down? Aiden and Zachary, I hope you prove us wrong. Go out there and crush some peoples before Dwarven might.
We're all in the book.
Yeah, I've been in the book, my guy. I have like 50 names. I've been named 50 times in there. So moving on to Hunter Clade. Where are we placing Hunter Clade? Let's see here. What did everyone put? Struggle bus for Jimmy.
It should have
Top
been
half for
struggle
me.
bus for me.
Top half for Rob and G. What did you say?
Struggle bus.
I also put him in struggle bus. It's your time to argue, Rob.
Let me see. I'm just checking out So there's only 3 of them. Who's?
Artem Ivanov. He's from up north. Andrew
Oh.
Sanchez, who is
I thought
part
Squires was taking him.
Squires actually is not coming, unfortunately. Hey,
Yeah.
Marty. Marty's dope. Marty's good.
Marty's very good.
Yeah, I put him at close.
Ooh.
But I think
Marty's
three
for sure
teams.
going to go positive.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Artem, I think Artem's also really, really good. He's from up north. Andrew is part of Aiden's group. I love. They just play for fun. Usually, I want to see them crush some people, though. I want them to prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to put them in positive now. I'm gonna have to. What do you guys say?
I can see that.
it's going to be a close one. I think they're going to be.
But there's so many positive teams. We might have to reassess at the end of this episode. Okay.
Just the math gods happy, drop them down to struggle bus, and we'll apologize to the nice players.
Hey, we will in a second. There's a couple more teams we're going to put in struggle bus right now.
Okay.
What about
good. Let's go.
what about higher tech?
Struggle bus? There we go. We
Struggle
all
bus.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one disagrees. They are struggle bus.
Exaction squad.
Struggle
I think-
bus.
So that is Ryan Slater, Exaction.
They have
Oh,
some
yeah.
good matchups, but then overall, they're
Wyatt Martin, Maxwell Ware, and Ryan. I think I'm going to have to put them in struggle bus, though. I just don't think the team is good enough.
they don't quite edge it out.
Ouch.
I think they're really good, but they're way, way better in Inquisition.
So Kellen sent me a message. He said, "Tell everyone they are S tier." So he really believes in them.
Just
so he
wait
wants
until he
them.
hears this podcast.
So,
Oh,
he's
gonna hate
playing
so
them,
bad.
right?
That master debater skills are slipping right there. All right.
I feel like he's been rep more than anyone else in this podcast. This is mostly a podcast about Kellen.
It is
So-
about Kellen. We should have had him on here, too.
We should have. Like, why am I here?
Exactly.
I'm just getting
Jimmy.
drunk and just spouting nonsense. Kellen would have actually provided real, tangible feedback, like Exaction is S tier. I don't know.
He would-
Like,
Not the
Nah, we don't
podcast we're
need
looking
that
for
shit.
here.
We want that garbage. That's what I'm about.
Takes.
So I think we're just down to our last team here. since Warp Coven and Justinian are not a thing, and that is Farstalker Kinband. Where are we placing them?
Struggle.
Yeah, 100% struggle. I think they depend too much on dice in order to. They're good, but the rest of their team. So I think in order to even this out, we at least have to put 2 more teams. 2 more of these. Are they?
Just one. Because there might be some in our top tier that are going to be our top 10 that might end up making up some space in Struggle Bus.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, that's
High
true.
Fleet. High Fleet
might have-
first.
I think High Fleet.
High Fleet, there's one player. You're telling me one player isn't going to be able to go positive?
Yep.
Statistically,
I mean, I
Look,
put Scouts.
I don't
in
know
you
this
that
have
player,
10
so-
players. 10 players at least are one of them is more likely to go positive versus one player going positive.
Yeah. I don't know that player, but I'm willing to fist fight him day one. Like, he's going to show up and be like, where's Jimmy? I'm going to fight him. That guy doesn't believe in me.
And
that's
find one of
fine.
these 11 guys in purple shirts.
Yeah. Just be like, one of those. Just punch someone in
Punch
purple.
each
You probably
one
hit
until
Jimmy.
you ignore
a
the
child.
kids, not the child.
So
Yeah.
I have been
Any
outvoted.
adult in
I'm
purple.
sorry, Jeremy. I fought for your honor, my friend.
He's done.
Also,
I have-
you put him in the very back too. At least near
Yeah,
the
right in the
front. At least
back.
near
You
the
don't even
front.
believe in him.
There we
Near
go.
the front. There you go. Come on.
Now
Don't be a
move Hunter
monster.
Clade. I want more enemies. Move Hunter Clade down. I want to fight more people.
I could also see them go down.
Yep.
You think Hunter Clade is going to go down to Struggle Bus?
I
Yep.
fought them, and
We
I beat
just
them.
talked about this. We just put them in positive.
I said I
know.
could go either way.
And I didn't like it. It made me feel dirty.
What about you, Rob? Where are you putting them?
I don't know. I don't know the players well enough.
Oh, my God.
Put him down. Get rid of him.
Yeah, see it.
Oh, my God.
This
And
feel
then-
pretty clean.
Now I feel happy.
This is nice and balanced.
And now you guys are saying the last one we have to rediscuss is Scouts, since Rob keeps bringing him up.
Hold on.
I'm gonna go negative. I mean, if Rob
they're
doesn't
fine.
believe in himself,
Scouts are good. Scouts are good.
yeah, Scouts are good.
Yeah, Scouts
Yeah,
are
I'll
good.
leave them up there.
Positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scouts are good.
Move them up to possible wins. I'll take the podium.
Oh. No big deal. We now have 3 S tier.
You got to slow play it.
This
Dark
is gonna
horse
be-
winner.
Yeah.
Fuck Belgor. Move Scouts up. Yeah.
So we now are going to discuss our very final topic of this podcast, and that is going to be our dark horse to win the tournament. Now, outside of Commandos and Vetguard, who possibly have the highest chance to win, according to us,
Felgor.
ignoring Felgor.
We have to ignore them. That's the only way we can not have them in the discussion. Go ahead.
We'll paint them purple.
What is our dark horses for the event that you guys think like a singular player might be able to come up from these lower tiers and actually just be able to win the whole thing?
Should everyone pick one team?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I got my team.
I got my team.
Okay, we have to say the player along with it. Okay, it's the only way it's
player
fair.
too.
Oh, the player too? Oh,
Alex for Inquisition. Actually, hold on. Shit, Jason's pretty
Shit,
good.
are we all fucking just going to vote for Alexander Popov with?
No,
fucking
we're not.
Inquisition?
I'm not.
Oh my god, because that's what I was going to do.
me.
I'll have to
I like
change
it,
my
but
thing now.
I'm
I
using
can't now. You
nepotism.
know mine. I just said it.
I'm not using
I already
logic. I'm
blew
using
mine
nepotism. You
earlier.
guys do your thing.
Okay. Well, let's calm down. Okay, so who are we doing? What is everyone saying?
No, let's calm up.
Calm up. All right, Jimmy. Jimmy's going to vote himself.
Yeah. I'm the dark horse, bitches. Let's go. No, not me.
I think it's Alexander with Inquisition. That's my dark horse.
That's yours? Okay.
Alexander with Inquisition. Okay.
I do like that one. I love Alexander. He totally has a chance. I see it. I get it. Rob?
So I don't know the players bringing Void Dancers. I didn't look at that, but
Okay.
I picked Void Dancers, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Void Dancers win the biggest tournament of the entire Kill Team world, and GW finally gives them a nerf. I love my elves. I hate Void Dancers.
See, I would say Pathfinders just because like I want them to get nerfed. Janice, Travis, looking at the two of you, but I will have to say I have to choose a completely different team, a completely different player, a homie, a brother from another mother. Okay? And that is Nick fucking Craven.
Oh,
This fucking guy
Blooded.
crushed my ass so hard at Nova. He is a
then you
sexy
play
man.
Phrasing.
He is an amazing human being, and I think this guy has what it takes to fucking face Jimmy Kelly with
Oh,
Jimmy
God
Kelly
damn it.
only wearing a chicken
You son of a
sandwich
bitch.
at the very end. And it's the rematch of KTO, but this time Nick Craven takes the W. The Ogre comes in for the final charge. Double, frenzies, 2 operatives, the game over, and Nick Craven wins by 1 with his blooded, finally proving that blooded are in the S tier.
You know what's so funny? As Nick is listening to this, he's listening right now.
Eating a burger,
In like a
yes.
week, whatever. He's listening to this, and he's like, in his mind, he's imagining the last match, and he's like, "Why the fuck does it have to be Felgor?" He's like, "Why can't you have me face like anyone else?" No, I don't know. I love Nick. I'd love him to do well. He's gonna have some tough matches. But hey, if anyone can overcome those tough matches, Nick can. So I'm rooting for him.
I have a secondary dark horse if no one else does.
Sure. I have.
Well, we got Jimmy still.
Oh, that's right. Go Jimmy. Go Jimmy. Go.
I don't want to go. All right. So here's the thing. I have a question for you guys.
Mhm.
If you pick a dark horse, are you kind of like almost giving them bad luck because you're like putting like too much like pressure?
I
on
picked
them?
Void Dancer, so yes.
So Jimmy, let me tell you something. Every time I've behind the scenes told my wife a dark horse pick,
Mhm.
they've actually won the tournament. I'm shitting you not. The time at AVTT.
You picked Jason for SoCal?
No, I didn't tell anyone a dark horse for SoCal.
Okay,
The
I
only
was gonna
times
say,
that
like,
I've
there's no way
actually,
you picked Intercession.
the only times that I've actually picked a dark horse was at like AVTT year 1 when Austin, James Robinson, and Jonathan Marquis won AVTT year 1.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I chose them as like, I was like, okay, these are the 3 favorites teams, but this team is the dark horse.
But now
right?
we're not doing it privately. We're doing this on a podcast.
Exactly. So, I broke my own
It's
rule.
rough. All right, so here's the thing. I really believe in my son. Joshua, my oldest, with Custodes. I think they got some real chops. But I don't want to give that to him. I don't want to put that as the dark horse. So I'm going to say Kellen with Novitiates is my dark horse.
That's rough.
Not that I want Kellen to get bad luck. Not that sounds bad. But like, no. I think Kellen is really at the top of his game right now. He's playing really well. Novitiates have a lot of strong tools. They have some hard matchups, but they're really strong, and Kellen is really running just top tier. So I think Kellen can do some strong things. I think Joshua is going to surprise some people. He's running a team that we put in Struggle Bus or Struggle Boys or whatever, and I think he's going to do really well. But who knows? There's a lot to happen. There's a lot that's going to go on. I'm excited to see how he goes. But I guess my dark horse, the official dark horse, is going to be Kellen.
That's
and
fair.
We'll just watch Josh.
I think that there's like, here's the thing, like we only know like a small percentage of the people that are actually going, people that we've met going to events and stuff like that. And I think that like, if we didn't mention you, it's just because we probably don't know you. Right. So make sure you come up and you introduce yourselves to us. Rob has already told me that he might want to, start TOing and helping TO next year. And I don't know if that offer's still on the table, my guy. But
see how these scouts do.
Exactly, right?
I'm not like I'm retiring.
He wins LVO with scouts, and I'm like, hey, I told you so, guys. None of the caster can go positive. I still told you so. I believed in Rob. No,
if you win, that's all you need to. That's all that matters. Who cares about your predictions? You won, and then you retire on top. And people are like, "Well, you're the best player in the world." Be like, "That's right." Want to play a game? I can't. My fingers. They don't work anymore.
I gave up that life.
I quit on top. That's what you do. You quit on top.
So one of my favorite things to do to everyone listening is I love to speculate. I love to think about what the new teams are, who's going to win, and just kind of like, think about Kill Team theoretically, right? I think that ultimately this is going to be a really fun event, and I think everyone that's going is going to have a great time. I'm going to strive as our number one priority that everyone that comes has a good time. Everyone that comes, talks to us, and has as hopefully the best event they've been to so far, and hopefully we can then make an even better event next year. Before we close out everything, I know we're running long on this podcast. Anyone who's driving or anyone who's flying, I'm sure is going to love that this is an extra long episode this week.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about narrative. I've been working my fucking ass off on narrative terrain and making sure that everything is getting done for narrative. Rob, Sheldon both did a lot of the game mechanics and heavy lifting in the art department for the narrative. Rob, you saw a sneak peek at the packet that we're going to be releasing as of today of this episode, and I want to shout out a few things about it. Rob, what did you think of the packet, my guy? What did you think about narrative? Like, we don't talk about narrative a lot on this podcast, and this is something that is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward. I'm not going to be playing in the narrative, which is kind of nice because I help do some mechanics. That'd be a little shady, but it's going to be a blast. If you've never played narrative Kill Team, one of the things we love about Kill Team, despite what Jimmy was saying, who hates models, like
I didn't say that. What is this?
It's all about the immersion, and you're getting to know your team real well, and so it's just like a fun experience. The game, it's different than any narrative campaign I've done before because it's like kind of custom built from the ground up. There's all sorts of like special equipment and mission rules, and I think it's gonna be a blast. So, sounds like I'm advertising people to sign up for narrative. Too late, it's sold out. Bummer for you, I guess.
It sold out
next
like
year.
2 weeks ago. Like not 2 weeks ago, like within 2 weeks
of the time it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if someone signed up for narrative and they don't show up? What a loser, right? Like they've got to. Sorry.
Well, let people know. Some might want to jump from not my pod though.
Well, there's two players who definitely aren't showing up, and then 2 that were just coming for day 2. So there is definitely. I've talked to a few people from the competitive that wanted to join the narrative,
like Baki or Orion, right? They want to. Let's get them over there, right?
So
away.
as long as we have a positive, an even amount of players, and the people that got first dibs obviously gets to jump into narrative first. But it's going to be a blast. Rob, sorry to cut you off. Keep saying what you're saying, my guy.
I just so for the big benefit to narrative is you're not. You do want to win. It is a game about scoring points and winning, but it's more about building up the identity of a team. Anyone who's ever played like Dungeons and Dragons or role playing, winning is success, but also like creating a good story. I just want to shout out. We mentioned him before, but James, who's playing Gellerpox in our competitive LVO, he was in my last narrative competition, and he was running all Khorne Legionnaires.
Amazing.
And just started deploying them in Engage and just charged. And he's had a lot of success with that and a lot of failure as well. But like he's just yelling blood for the blood god. It's just some of the most fun you can have playing Kill Team, because when you lose a narrative game, you still won. Because you got to, you lose a regular competitive game, it's still fun too, but hopefully. But yeah, narrative is great. If you are in the narrative campaign and you are listening to this podcast on the way to LVO, make sure you read up on the rules for narrative and then also the campaign packet, because they'll give you like a good idea how to get started, and you're not starting from zero. That's kind of another nice thing for this narrative campaign. Some of your guys might be a little tougher, might have some special stuff. So yeah, definitely check that out.
Is there anything about a part of this this terrain, this packet that you think is different from your narrative that you've actually done just yourself, with having a little bit of outside input of like kind of what the story wanted to happen or like what we wanted to do? Because I think I've been talking about the narrative campaign since like last May or something like that.
Yeah. So first of all, like it's custom boards that are just going to be cool. So for
you haven't even seen those yet.
Yeah, I've heard some of the stories, but like it's not Octarius, which is what almost all people play on, which is rough for them. But there's also like you're playing through a story. It's not. I don't know if I want to give too much away, but like there's actually like it's not just do this game. Like you're fighting towards an end goal here, and it's not kind of something that's like just been put together haphazardly. We've got like an actual story, and one of the nice things about narrative is as you win, your team gets stronger, but we've also built in some mechanics that when you lose, you have these kind of like risk reward things. And so like you might lose a game and some bad stuff's going to happen, but some good stuff as well. So you have to kind of alter your play style. Again, not to spoil too much, but we have some mechanics in there that if you lose, you might end up having a leader that now sucks. The team has abandoned your leader. But because they've abandoned them, they're taking stuff into their own hands and they might get a little bit better themselves. So that's just a fun way to play narrative and mix things up. And then on top of that, if you have played narratives before, again, we're doing a different, instead of TAC Ops, there's different secondary missions that are all really tied to the story, which is a blast. And then also we've changed up some of the experience rules because we're only doing 6 missions here, so you're not going to be able to follow those normal leveling up. So we've accelerated that a bit. So you should get some pretty tough, fun players with character and personality by the end of it that can really hit hard and have some fun there.
Yeah, so I'll spoil just a little bit and nothing about the story itself. Anyone who's interested can go and check it out. We have a slightly redacted PDF version of the packet that will come out, and it's not going to spoil the end for the people going to LVO, but then after LVO we will release an entire packet so that anyone that wants to play it at home definitely can. The only thing that you won't necessarily be able to see is that we at LVO we're giving away to each player that came 36 unique cards, all designed artistically by Sheldon, and the game mechanics were all done by Sheldon and Rob. 36 different cards, so we have 12 disadvantage cards, 10 TAC Op mission cards, and 7 clues, and 7 basically equipment cards. And we're also going to be giving each of these players 15 unique tokens and a unique gauge for this. Not only that, but they're going to be playing on some of the coolest terrain that I think that we've ever made. And some of it's 3D printed, some of it's Games Workshop stuff. It's not any competitive standard stuff. I think the UPS truck is back, so that's cool. But there's some really fun stuff that's going to happen with this. There's going to be audio tracks that people can listen to, learning about the game. It's going to be really fun, going to be really exciting. My goal for this narrative event was to make competitive players jealous. They're going to see the terrain and they're going to be like, fuck, man, maybe I should play that, And me, I'm a competitive player and I want to play this. So if anyone who doesn't actually play this, myself and Giacomo and Saya, we're going to be playing through this narrative as well throughout the year on our Twitch or YouTube. We haven't decided if we're going to make it highly edited or if we're going to make it live. So be around and be prepared for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. You get to see
now, Dakotah.
Yeah.
If I were hypothetically a competitive player who's interested in this narrative, would there maybe be something for me to purchase at LVO?
Yeah, so we're going to have an extra 10 sets of cards, and we're going to be probably selling them for between $32 and $35. And these cards are also going to come with all of the same tokens and all that kind of stuff. So if you're already a narrative player, you want to go play this again at home with a buddy, you can purchase it. If you're a competitive player and you want to do it as well, you can come by and pick up a set, maybe 2. I think we spent more time building this narrative event we did building terrain this year for competitive. It's absolutely wild, the amount of work that's gone into this. So we look forward to sharing this with the world and with everyone. And then if we sell out or something like that, then we'll probably also offer the cards on my website, lestersworkshop.com. So like if there are people that want to buy them for like their group and they're gaming a group there, I tried to keep it reasonably affordable for everyone and not price everyone out with the for the cards and the tokens. So you help out a small business, you help out the squad games, podcast and the Squad Games team and events team. So if you want to do that, that's awesome. If not, stick with competitive. Competitive is fun too. We're going to take a lot of pictures at LVO, so make sure you tune into our stream for LVO. We're going to be streaming all 9 rounds. The first 2 days, we're going to be picking and choosing different people to come up on stream, and the final day, we will be doing just the top competitive finales. So if you see the same person because he's gone 9-0 the entire event, so be it. He or she deserves it. But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. Let me do a final shout out for the people who worked on Sector Aterim. That is the name of the narrative. It's Sheldon Steer. He did the art design, game mechanics, and editor. We have Rob McLeod, who did mechanics and the rules. We have Saya, who is the director, the story writer, and the producer. Matthew Melton, who did voice acting. Giacomo, he's doing the audio producing. The LVO rescue team, which is a large group of people that came over to my house to help build it. Alexander Popov, he helped with 3D designing objects that are going out to the players. And then myself, the executive producer, who has had a little bit of their hand in pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So big shout out. Is there anything that anyone else wants to shout out before we end this one?
Rob, Jimmy?
I have a quick question. We just talked about Sheldon. We never brought him up with all the players. Is he bringing a team to LVO?
Sheldon is going to be helping Giacomo stream. Sheldon, who is also Kill Team Stream, and Giacomo are both going to be the Table Zero head judges, and also making sure that the everything is running at top tier. So
he's not going to be playing competitively in the tournament.
No, he's not.
Sad noises. That's boo. But that's great because he's amazing at what he does. So he's going to make the event better.
And you'll hear him laughing throughout the hall.
Yep.
And I'll get to see him. So that's cool. So you get to see Sheldon and bug him and go be obnoxious to him, but not have to play him. Okay. I'm okay with that.
How about you, Rob? Anything?
Yeah, just shout out for all the LVO prep. And I know that there's been quite a bit of work, just a little bit of terrain building and everything. So great job for the Squad Games team. Also, big shout out to been noticing in the Discord, a lot of people showing up, I guess maybe from the email that Dakotah's been sending out, and they're joining the Discord. So if you haven't yet joined the Squad Games Discord, check us out. It's pretty happening. There's usually a lot of conversation going on there. If you're in Southern California specifically, we have our own SoCal Skirmish Gaming. You can reach out to me on the Discord. I'm Highlander Rob, or Rob Highlander, on Squad Games, and I can direct you towards our SoCal one. I'm trying to build a solid SoCal community and find games for people. So if you're not part of that yet, let me know and join that. So those are my shout outs.
Nice. I guess
is it legal to give Dakotah a shout out? Because he has done so much to put all this together, including overcoming fires. And
yeah.
I think train wrecks. I think one of those Florida train wrecks involved Dakotah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there's also a flooding that happened recently too. Again,
flooding, a fire,
fucking
water, and
insane.
fire.
You literally can't make this stuff up. And then my dad went through the ceiling and had to go get 5 stitches. You literally can't make it up. This month has been insane.
Pretty wild month.
And Dakotah, you do it all for the love of the community.
Yeah.
You just so
and
much
for your
for
love
it.
of seeing Compendium win. That's it. That's the only reason you do it. Just to see
Green skin for the win.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to have fun, to be honest.
Yeah, I know you do.
And if you don't have fun, it actually upsets me. So.
Yeah. So if Dakotah makes you mad, just don't have fun, and that's your punishment back.
Yep.
Yeah, that would make him sad.
Yeah.
Tell him how you feel on the Discord.
Don't do that. Actually, just even
you
if you
just
don't
make
have a
fun
time,
of my colorblindness,
just fucking lie and be like, Dakotah was the best. just be a decent human being and lie to his face and be like, it was the best event. It will be though. It will. It won't even be a lie. In fact, if you have to lie to say that, how dare you? But just be nice to Dakotah. That's all I'm saying. He's dealt with fires and floods and his father being flung through the fucking ceiling. How dare you not enjoy this man's tournament? That's all. I'm done.
Again, you can
Yes,
talk
you
about
have.
that in the Discord. So, Discord links in the description. We're always talking about stuff there. And it's the best way to get any information on the time of when we're doing LVO. We want to shout out our Patreons. Thanks so much for, you guys, a few of them are here. Thank you guys for supporting us. I appreciate it. Dakotah appreciates it. I'm sure he does.
Absolutely. You guys make this possible.
And of course, there's exclusive stuff there. So if you're subscribing, you can also get the extra podcast we do, which is Squad Games Redacted. Comes out 2 times a month.
Dirty
and
stuff on there.
We still have our FLG affiliate. So check this out. If you wanted to buy something from their store, I think you can pick it up at LVO. I think that's an option. Picking it out in Vegas or something. So if you're already going to go out there, you can. And if you're not, you can get it delivered. They deliver all over the United States. It's pretty rad. And we get a little bit of a kickback. It's no additional cost to you guys. It helps support the show.
We also have Goblin's Hut.
Yeah, Goblin's Hut. If you're looking to get some amazing products like the Dirty Down in the spray bottle, a very, very useful tool. We used a lot of it. This
insane magical stuff happens to your terrain when you spray it. It's Dirty Down in a spray can that's water soluble, so you can wipe off parts of it, or smear parts of it. And then you can like, if they weren't an affiliate, I would still shout this product out because it's our first time using it, and it's actually made everything so much faster and so much easier. It's like an oil wash in a spray can. It's fucking crazy.
It's nuts. Literally, I would literally consider you guys to
Knucking futs.
The link for that will be in the description as well. And then lastly, if you want to find what I'm doing, I'm on wargaming_studios on Instagram, painting up new teams. But otherwise, we're going to see you all at LVO.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
You can't find me. I'm hiding on social media. I'm trying to avoid everyone. So
We'll have to figure out who he is.
Don't even look.
Sneaky.
I'm hiding. I'm not even there.
I just got to see what Dakotah is following, and then just eventually I might
Just find me
him.
in person. I'm wearing purple and I'm obnoxious. There you go.
There's a few of them.
There'll be 11 there.
There's going to be so many of us. Just anyone who's loud and purple is probably one of mine. All right. I apologize in advance. All right. It's been fun, guys. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It has.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you all at LVO then.
Peace.
All
Peace.
right. Thanks so much, guys. It was a good one.
The Squad Games podcast is a production of Squad Games Entertainment. For more information on Squad Games, please visit our website at lestersworkshop.com/squad-games.